specialize in the education and entertainment of 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 entertainment. Candy and the sun. Could you make me a woman? Showtime. I know you're used to Lucy, but I run daggers for you, daggers for you. I know you're used to Lucy, but I run go pump 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 some neurons. I know you're used to Lucy, such a shun, it tastes good, such a shun. I know you're used to Lucy, but I run. Surprise. Hip hop, bebop, dance till you drop. Hip hop, bebop doesn't mean that they don't love. Hip hop, bebop, bop bop bop, dance till you drop. Hip hop, bebop. Just a little bit of nicotine. The sun. Just a little bit of nicotine. Cream in your sugar now. A little bit of nicotine doesn't mean that they don't love you.
Should've never had a birthday, Dad. Should've never had a birthday, Dad. Should've never had a birthday, Dad.
I know you're used to Lucy, but I run daggers for you. When I'm in charge, daggers for you. I know you're used to Lucy, but I run go pump 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 some neurons. I know you're used to Lucy, but I run such a shun, such a shun. I know you're used to Lucy, but I run.
Should've never had a birthday, Dad.
Hip hop, bebop, dance till you drop. Hip hop, bebop doesn't mean that they don't love. Hip hop, bebop, bop bop bop, dance till you drop. Hip hop, bebop. Just a little bit of nicotine. The sun. Just a little bit of nicotine. Cream in your sugar now. A little bit of nicotine. Doesn't mean that they don't love you. When I'm in charge. Don't fuss with me. It tastes good. It tastes good. Pump, 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 pump.
Should've never had a birthday, Dad. Should've never had a birthday, Dad. Should've never had a birthday, Dad. Birthday, Dad.
I know you're used to Lucy, but I run such a shun, such a shun. I'm in charge. I know you're used to Lucy, but I run.
Should've never had a birthday, Dad. Birthday, Dad. Dad. Birthday, Dad.
Yeah. Hip hop, bebop, dance till you drop. Hip hop, bebop, mean that they don't love. Hip hop, bebop, bop bop bop, dance till you drop. Hip hop, bebop, candy in the sun. Just a little bit of nicotine. Just a little bit of nicotine. Cream in your sugar now. A little bit of nicotine doesn't mean that they don't love you. Well, that's all for today. Bye bye.
Well, that's kind of crazy. You can't like super chats if you're the person who's receiving them. That's kind of dumb.
Your heart's running away with your head.
Now what are we gonna do?
Come on. I've thought it all out. It just wouldn't work. Beautiful.
Kiss. Grow fonder.
It just isn't done that well.
The son of the queen of the left hang.
Could you like going?
Yes, those poor people.
Well, now what are we gonna do? Could you like going?
Yeah, I guess so. That's me too. The left hang.
Isn't he?
The left hang. Oh, that's me too. The left hang.
dance, dance, dance,
This is for all you lovers out there.
dance.
History is gonna change.
Gotta say, straights are the best way to go. GTH.
Legs in the back. Daddy-o, daddy-o. Time machine.
Your mom now, party you. Your mom now, party you. Your mom now, party you.
Dance, 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 dance.
You make like a tree.
Your mom now, party you. 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 Just never would've met your father. Never would've.
Planets down to Earth, down to Earth, down to Earth. What if they read my stories? What if they won't let you Planets down to Earth, down to Earth, down to Earth. What if they read my stories? What if they won't let you
Hey, kids. This is a tasty burger. Burger. Burger.
Walking down the street.
Two men,
25. Straight down.
goddamn handcap.
You're a smart motherfucker.
This sounds like you actually have something to say.
Fuck me, that matters.
Straight down.
Oh, fuck me,
Do you ask? I'm the fucking master.
fuck me, that matters.
Straight down.
Oh, fuck me,
Do you ask?
fucking good milkshake.
Want that? Want that?
Bunch of fox.
Want that?
You know, I didn't really think this through. This song might actually get me demonetized. That's okay, though.
Bunch of fox.
Goddamn handcap.
Want that?
Well, just the video, not the entire stream.
Let's go.
I mean, it is after 5 minutes, so maybe not. I think the Yippies like it, though. They're dancing. They seem to like it. Alright. Destiny's gonna demonetize it? No. No. For your entertainment. Also, what's funny, chat, is we are gonna be watching some fun Destiny today. I pulled a soul card. Congratulations. Can I explain the Yippee lore? There really isn't anything to explain. They just kind of are there. Kind of. They exist and yet they don't exist at the same time. I might get it taken down due to a song. That's weak behavior. That would be. Has he done that before? That would be interesting. I don't know. Anyway, hello everybody. Hello, hello. I have some unfortunate news right now. I have received word from the Grand Yippee Alliance that apparently one of their own is currently in jail. I have received a picture. I have received a picture of their blessed friend that is in jail right now. Cool hat, I know, right? Unfortunately, one of their own is in jail. I've asked them what the crime was because I don't believe that we should persecute people that are without crime. But unfortunately, I have been informed, and I even well, I didn't post it. One of the other Yippies did. Excuse me, because they still have control of my Discord account. But apparently, this Yippee was thrown in jail because she did something to the pretty Yippee. Is it time for a jailbreak? Maybe. Maybe. She'll never make it through the courts. So what sucks is all the money that we raised yesterday for the Yippies to go on a speed dating. I guess this one kind of ruined prostitution. Oh, I can't believe you're not a tidy dark-skinned girl. I know. I'm sorry. They stole an egg in today's economy. But no. What's funny is this actually was made. So, Dylan, who is somebody from Lucky Entertainment, he made this meme for me. And it's actually a meme that originally was made for Ava. So I figured I would read it for you because it's kind of funny. Drug trafficking is not a nice thing to do. Oh, she wasn't drug trafficking. She assaulted that pretty Yippee in a very unfortunate manner. I cannot support that. I have to disavow this Yippee. But they are asking me, even though they are upset with her, they're asking me to help raise money for her bail. So I put up a goal for bail. It is up to you if you want to help her meet bail. And if you help her meet bail, great. If the goal is not met, then this Yippee might get put away for a long time. I guess it is up to you to determine if she deserves to be in jail for her crime. An unsolicited head pat? Maybe. Unironically, it might just be that. They didn't get specific with me. I haven't seen the police report. Allegedly, it is something along those lines, though. But yeah, if you want to contribute to her bail, you can. And then hopefully we can get her out eventually. Before the stream started, though, Slide donated 10, just giving me for the Yippee tax. Unfortunately, that can't count towards the bail because it wasn't in the confines of the goal. So, and they only accept goal money. Everything else, I guess, is okay for me to take. So your money, if you donate, you'll contribute to her bail. Which is thankfully not a lot of money. It's like $20. That's a cool set out. Orange is the new black. Your Honor, my client claims oopsie daisy. Yes. But anyway, this was a silly little meme that it was made for me. Where I don't know who this guy is. Oh my gosh. Sly, you didn't have to do that. Well, you might have just paid the bail. I don't know. Thank you. Thank you for the 50 get out of jail free card. She might be fine. Can we hit it? Okay, I try to be inventive with these goals. I know people put in YouTube goals and they're kind of just, some people are really bad at them. I try to make them silly at the very least so that people kind of get some role play out of it, because it's more fun to do a little bit of silly role play here. Can we hit it? I might be able to negotiate her release on $50. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. She's not currently the Yippee and the you know what? I think I am getting a call from a representative. Oh, there's the representative right now. I think they're gonna come up. They're gonna they're gonna whisper to me. Yeah. Okay. I think she's saying that maybe we can negotiate. Guilty, I say. Rope the Yipper. No, we can't do that. But thank you, Boracho, for the 5. We can't do it. No, she's an innocent. Well, I think she's innocent. Bail is currently 200 in a sloppy toppy. I don't think they should be able to do the second part. Oh gosh. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. Like I said, I try to make these goals silly. Because I've seen some people do the, oh, by the way, the goal is if you meet it, you get another goal. I try to do something a little silly because people like silly. And so, Freedom Fund is a very good silly fund. Needs to be a lawyer Yippee. You know what? We do need a lawyer Yippee. I don't know what that would be. You know what it would be? Okay. I was just reminded of this. Thank you. By the way, we're not even onto the pre-show thing that I wanted to touch on. Do you guys remember when we interviewed Andrew from Legal Mindset? Here it is. Oh, it was one of my favorite thumbnails. Let me see if I can actually find it in my let me see if I can find it instead of just pulling it up on YouTube here. Thumbnails, retired thumbnails. Ava, hello, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that for 5 months in a row. Ain't that crazy? Very much appreciated. Let me see if I can find this thumbnail. This is a great thumbnail here. Fantastic even. There it is. There it is. Okay, so here's what we need to do. For the lawyer Yippee, all you need to do is put the law book on her head. Or put a gavel in her hand. Or you could do both, actually. You could definitely do both. Put a gavel in her hand and a law book on her head. I think that would be absolutely perfect. But not this one. This one is obviously a jailed Yippee. She is unfortunately stuck in there forever. We need the deep lore on how Occo learned to speak Yippee. I can't explain that to you. That is deep autistic language. I cannot share that with you. That is only something that me and Ava will know because we are autistic and neither of you are. Gavel energy is unmatched. Yes, pretty much. Anyway, we need Judge Yippee with the powdered wig. Yes, we do. Nerdy, thank you for the 199. Hashtag free the Yippee. Hashtag free the Yippee. We gotta get that trending on Twitter, chat. Imagine if for some reason we get that. Imagine if that's like something that gets trending and people want to figure out why it's trending and it's literally just because of a stupid shit meme. That would be hilarious. Are all my songs gone? Oh, they appear to be all done. That's odd. I thought oh, this one didn't play. We'll play this one. Then we'll start the actual music. Ava, thank you for the 2. Free her. I was also caged. Just messed up, man. What you mean? We're autistic? But I am autistic. I have Asperger's, so I can get it. Okay, fair enough. Did I hear about the drone strike? I did not. I did not. You know what I did hear about, though, chat? Here, let me bring this up. So, chat, do you guys like conventions? Excuse me. Actually, here, I'm gonna pause and start a recording. Okay. Do you guys like conventions? I like conventions. I used to go to Comic-Con all the time when I was a young yippee. And and so I think all you guys do too. But there was an interesting thing that happened at a convention recently where a pipe had decided to burst over the Artist's Alley. If you guys aren't familiar, Artist's Alley is a place where artists come together to sell their pictures and art, showcase themselves. It's something that a lot of people take advantage of to try and sell themselves in person, trying to sell specific prints and different little tchotchkes that you can buy. But unfortunately, and this is the video that I was able to get here. This is from an account called Goo. They are a lesbian clown girl. We don't care about them that much. Well, we don't care about the what they identify as. We just care about the video here. So this is a video that they posted. There are other videos that were shared. This is just the first one I was able to find while looking for it. But this chat is a burst sewage pipe. Okay? So before you watch this, understand that is not water. That is sewage. Okay? And it's all over the place. All over the place. Oh my God, it's not touching you. Absolutely fucking disgusting. When people talk about shit, yeah, that's definitely the shit. Like it's all over the place right there. It's absolutely disgusting. So that is something that happened. Thankfully, I read that people said that most stuff was able to be salvaged. But here is the thing that sucks. Because that is liquid sewage, it smelled like shit in the entire convention room for the rest of the day. People had to be let out. I don't know if you noticed, but some of these people here are actually covering their mouths. Well, you might not be able to see it here, but some people would start covering their mouths. This person has a face mask on. I can't remember the convention specifically. I know it is a comics books convention. But it happened at a convention. Oh, here's some more pictures here. Oh, that's perfect. Thank you. Thank you for this. Here's some more lovely pictures of all of this. Oh, they actually got security there. Let me tell you, as somebody that used to do security, this would be the worst thing to jump in on and be like, yeah, I really don't want to write a report for this. Can I just not? Like, broski, I'll take a write-up. I really don't want to be right next to the smell of bile and shit. Yippee water? Yes. At least their immune systems will improve? Yes. This is why I don't go to conventions. Chat, this doesn't happen any time at conventions. Ever. This doesn't happen at all at conventions, alright? This is just one of those rare times where a pipe for their sewage system decided to burst over, quite specifically, the Artist's Alley, which is... I don't know how I feel about that, because Artist Alley can be full of good people, can also be full of some crazy people, but like, yeah, this is, well, I don't know what convention it was at, unfortunately. Here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do. Oh, it was Katsucon, I believe. Yeah, it was. I believe it was at Katsucon. Let me see if we can. It's like an act of God. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Here's another one. Let me pull this up. So here's another good video of this. Let me zoom up on this. We don't really care about what people are saying. You already know. Look at these people. They're just running the fuck away. I would run the fuck away because that shit's disgusting smelling. Even God shits on artists. The Bible thumpers were right. It's an act of God. Kirby fan was right. Yes. They were paid in exposure to E. coli. Oh my gosh, you guys are brutal. So yeah, this happened at Katsucon. It was very sad, very depressing. And that, yeah, I'm it was very sad. Very, very, very sad. So it sounds like, so I'm looking at this news thing here, this news article, and it says what happened is after the pipes burst, they went ahead and evacuated the entire convention hall, which I am imagining is not small. Convention halls are not small at all. So my assumption is they evacuated the entire thing. Save the doshinshis. Code Miko. Okay, that's gross. But by the same token, I need to understand something here. I'm going to end this. Oops. Hold on. I need to understand something. People are alleging that Code Miko is into some shit. Is that actually true? Is it actually true that Code Miko is into that kind of stuff? People have alleged that. I have no idea how true that is. I'm hoping that's not true. Probably stank and was a biohazard. Oh, that is definitely a biohazard. Definitely a biohazard. I bet it smells better than my ex's breath. Listen, that it does not. All right? I have smelled what it is like when people clean out shit like that. It does not smell good. At all. It was at the Gaylord. Yes. That is a name for that. But yeah, that happened. That was pretty unfortunate. She asked the Twitch CEO about poo. I know that she asked the Twitch CEO about poo, but like, Miko is also kind of like slightly a retard. So, not Miku, but Miko. All right. And I don't know. I hope that she's not into that kind of shit. I hope she's not into shit. I believe with the same level as Ice Spice's allegation. Smells like a Smash tournament. Oh no. Oh goodness. It is probably a joke. I hope so. Who wants to bet that there were some people who didn't care and wanted to stay amid the fart spray? Oh, I believe that there's probably one person. Maybe. There are some weird people like that. I can believe that. For sure, for sure. Anyway. Ugh, excuse me. Anyway. That's not why you guys are here today. I know the smell is horrendous. Oh, I know. I have been near porta potties, like the professional ones that like are really nice. When they change them out, the smell is disgusting. Like for 10 minutes after they clean them out, the area just smells of disgust. But anyway, that's not why you guys are here today. Chat. Recently, as you guys might know, Destiny has gotten himself into trouble. And I have, for the most part, not really paid much attention to it because I've been waiting for some more stuff to come out. And some more stuff has come out. Willie McShow, who is a creator that is kind of in the commentary drama sphere, did a interview with Destiny. And along with this interview, did a very brief overview of everything that has happened up to this point. This is a 40-minute video. We're going to watch all of it. Everybody is reacting to this right now. And so I am going to also do my part and react and give my opinions on it. And after that is done, we'll see what time it is after that is done. Destiny has still not deleted his debate with Metokur, Mr. Metokur. This is an 8-year-old video of him debating Mr. Metokur. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to react to that as well. Because that is definitely something that we should do. This was back in 2013? 8 years. Let's see. No, 2017. Excuse me. My apologies. I will let you know Willie did not address some of the worst allegations. Aw, that sucks. I have not watched this. I've watched like a small chunk of it, but I decided to wait till stream. So I watched like literally the first 5 to 10 minutes, and I was like, okay, we're gonna save it. But if that's the case, that's kind of sad. But anyway, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna play some video games while we watch it, and then we're gonna commentate on it as well. I will let you guys know I have been listening to a lot of the stuff on the side when it comes to the drama, and my opinions have evolved. 2013 was 12. Yeah, listen, chat. We know we can't. We know that I can't do math. We know that I can't do math. Shush. Delete an 8-year-old debate vid. Is it relevant? No. I'm glad he didn't delete it. There are copies of it in other places, I'm assuming, but I'm glad that he didn't delete it. Anyway. Wish I had a bingo card ready for this. Are we digging a hole today? We are not digging a hole today. I've completed that game twice. I'm not playing it ever again. Oh, we're gonna play some Minecraft though, so technically I'm digging a hole. But here we go. This is what we're gonna be watching today. This is I confronted Destiny on his crimes. I will go ahead and share this video if you guys want to watch the original. I encourage you to watch the original if you don't want my commentary over it. So there you go. We're gonna watch this and get going. Most exposed videos are boring. I agree. However, I do believe that this will be a good way to summarize the things that have happened up to this point so that we can talk about them as well. And I do believe that he does do a decent job, from what I've heard, talking about Destiny. Most exposed videos are boring. They used to be funnier. Most exposed videos today also borders on illegal. Especially when it comes to predators, or those predator hunters. Most of those videos like border on being illegal because of how they decide to do their job and how they try to supersede the law. And while I don't always think that the law is correct in how it does its enforcement, I think that a lot of the people are just kind of stupid, in my personal opinion. So, anyway. Is Hassan vid his Kino? I've heard he's done a few Hassan vids. Anyway, let's get started. Let's get moving. I'm gonna turn off the music because we don't need it, and we're gonna get going. Oh, why is it muted? Hold on a moment. Don't talk, Willie Mac.
And that the victims weren't just used by Destiny, but by YouTubers trying to frame themselves as heroes. One of them is still lying about what he did. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I personally care about the victims either.
By the way, from the first few minutes that I watched of this video, my understanding is that he is going to talk about the Destiny stuff along with talking about some of the other shit that went on. I watched Nick's stream on this earlier. Tiny is a sex pest, but President Sunday is no saint either. No, yeah, I agree. And as we go through some of this, I'll inform you guys of my opinions, because I've been slowly ruminating on these opinions. I've wanted to kind of wait to give them until later, but pretty much, yeah.
I don't know them. However, I do have the basic human decency to not try and sabotage them. I pride myself on doing a good job, and this video is finally up to those standards. So enjoy! Destiny is a political streamer that has framed himself as a moral authority. I've gone on his shows, cited his appearances often when covering the Red Pill. He's framed himself as someone who's fighting for respecting women.
I think there's an intention within DDG.
I don't understand. Okay. And this is a criticism I have of a lot of people. I don't know where people started to decide that Destiny was just like a woman respecter. Turn the elf girl into a yippee. I don't know where people decided that Destiny was a woman respecter. For the longest time, I have just like, I don't believe that. I just legitimately look at him as and how he acts and what he does, and it's like, this man does not respect women. He is a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. And yeah. I think when the porn leaks happened, not this year, but like it was at the end of last year, when that all happened, it pretty much confirmed in my head that Destiny was just not a good person, and thankfully, a lot of people are seeming to agree with me. Lib guy and cuck, no way he was. Yeah, pretty much. Those are two very disastrous. Excuse me. Things to have on your record.
From what I can tell, from what you say and what people say, to make women feel comfortable in this space. Is that correct?
there's an intention from me. There's probably an intention from part of my community.
He thinks teenagers should get dating advice from him rather than their own stupid parents.
Person comes up to you and starts saying some weird stuff. You just sit there with this 13-year-old and then you start having conversations extended about them about dating.
Yeah, I have before. What do you mean? No, would I tell if a young person came up to me and they were asking me questions about some like boy problems or something? Yeah, I'd probably say, yeah, of course. What do you mean, a 35-year-old man? Of course I'm gonna have better advice for them than some random high school person.
That's a little that's a little that's not really, that really doesn't matter to the main part of the video. That's just a little sus though. My personal opinion is if somebody's coming to you about boyfriend girlfriend advice, if they're not your kid, you probably need to be kind of careful how to wade through that. I don't know.
Yeah, of course. If a 15-year-old girl came up to me and she's like, there's some weird shit going on with a boy in my high school, I'd say, oh, no, don't talk to me, honey. Go ask another 15-year-old boy or ask your retarded fucking mom and dad who are going to tell you to never talk to any boys ever. No, what the why would I not talk to a person? Wait, what?
Yet Destiny has a longer list of women he's had sexual interactions with that now hate him than any of these guys. Almost all of which have been labeled as crazy, unhinged psychos, liars.
Yeah, like, I can be a pretty cool motherfucker. And yeah, you know, me and Malene have problems, but I don't think I f***ed up at all in this. I'm not running around screen sharing people's nudes, calling people ugly behind their backs while telling them I want to f*** them because they're like trying to go up on shows that I'm like a producer of.
But recent leaks showed Destiny sharing sex tapes of his past partners without their consent to a 19-year-old named Rose in an attempt to get laid. I can't help but wonder, was there any truth behind their stories?
Things that's been done to me without consent or anything.
I vaguely remembered when this came out, and I think that a lot of people wrote it off or decided that it didn't matter. I could be wrong, but I swear when this came out, a lot of people just did not care. I don't know. Coping in Destiny's chat, not everyone has parents when they don't have guardian. Okay, if you don't have parents, obviously you're going to have a secondary party that's going to give that, but it should not be a random fucking... You should not be going to Stephen Bonnell II for advice on dating if you are a child. That is kind of weird, in my personal opinion. Come child to the advice van? Yes. Yeah, I already feel my brain cells dying. I'm sorry. Don't worry, chat. When we get to the Metokur stream, I expect it to be a lot better. There's going to be a lot more screaming. Maybe there's some screaming in this. I don't know.
That has been my past 5 years.
Then there's the aspect of how these stories broke, coming from two YouTubers, President Sunday and Beckett, who never reached out to the victim, were never given permission to share any of this. Yet they did it anyway, confirming it's her in the leaks to the general public, framing her as a suicide baiter for saying she'd kill herself if her parents found out.
Pixie did the worst thing that someone in her position could do. Rather than seek legal recourse or make a public statement denouncing the violation of her consent and dignity that these leaks represented,
she was literally doing both of those things.
She seems to have ultimately chosen to try and profit from the situation by extorting Destiny.
This guy didn't even try to understand the full story before making a video victim shaming her. While her parents certainly know now thanks to Sunday's journalism, if she dies, she dies, a risk he's totally willing to take on behalf of making his YouTube video. After Pixie was forced to go public, she would have other...
Yeah, I did. So here's one thing that I kind of have an issue with. I really don't like that. Like, I mean, here's the thing. Because he did this, now Destiny is in the mainstream, and now Destiny is out in the public for people to... actually, my apologies. Mainstream is the wrong way to say it. Because he did that, now Destiny's kind of just out in the open for people to see and to criticize. However, the way that he went about this is very dangerous. I can definitely understand that the girl may not be ready for this to come out yet. And I do agree with Nick when it's just like, when a woman is not ready to face her accuser like that, it can be very difficult because she may either be looking for shit to do behind the scenes, or she may just not be ready, or it may be traumatizing to her, and you want to make sure that that doesn't like open any wounds, so to speak. Casinos had the best reaction to this. Well, I don't need to react to a reaction of a reaction today. Well, we might have another day, but I imagine they probably had a good reaction. There's not any good people in the story. I agree. I think the problem that I have with President Sunday is that he just decided to do it without the consideration that it could potentially hurt people in the future. That is kind of a big deal in my personal opinion. Like here's the thing. If and I'm going to relate this to Under the Tea as an experience. Like, when people give us information for things that eventually should go out, we can't immediately, like, I can't immediately just jump in and tell people about some information that I have. Like, oh, this VTuber agency is doing this. I have to wait until, one, people are ready, and two, they give us the go-ahead to do it, because technically it's not our information to hand out. It is the victims to hand out, and it's our job to make sure that they have a platform to express it on when the time comes. The bread tubers are going scorched earth. Isn't that bad? I don't know. Akko, shouldn't they warn the public to prevent it from repeating? Yes, I think that you should warn the public when something like this happens. However, you should do it when the victim is ready for it, because the victim may not be ready for it, and you might put the victim at risk by doing it. There's just a lot that you have to be careful with so that you don't hurt the person that you're trying to help, if that makes sense. Dario had to weigh whether he wanted to gargle his Destiny's junk or taunt him from clout. I don't think that's what the woman wanted, ever manifested in his callous. So my only problem with Diorio, when it came to the Destiny shit, is he knew, and he admitted that he's known about some of this for a while. And while I believe that it is fine to not go against the ahead of the victim, and he has, in my personal opinion, a pretty decent point when it comes to he doesn't want to go ahead of the victim when it is her story, because he could look like an asshole. And I agree. He could definitely look like way more of an asshole if he had gone ahead of the victim and shared the story. The issue that I kind of have, and maybe this is a lame opinion of mine, maybe I'm just kind of wrong, but my personal problem is that he kind of just sat there, even after knowing a lot of this stuff about Destiny. I think he knew, I'm trying to remember specifically the timeline, but I believe he said that he knew, like, a couple of months ago, as some of this, and he just didn't really do a whole lot about it. And my problem is just, you don't have to call out Destiny. You don't have to, like, you don't have to expose him. You don't even have to bring attention to this. All you have to do is prove that you're not, like, on his side. Or it's not. Excuse me. You don't even need to prove it to people. Let me rephrase that. What he should have done, in my personal opinion, is just not, like, been an orbiter of him. And I do believe that he was kind of backing away, but my personal opinion is that he just kind of sat there. He just kind of didn't walk away from it. He knew for 6 months, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, like, he's done this before. I mean, I'm very limited in my knowledge of Nick. First time I learned about Nick is when all the shit with Flamenco was going down. And that is really when I started kind of paying attention to him. I know a lot of people give him way more credence than even he wants when it comes to his role in the commentary community. But I just think that, like, if you want me to take him seriously, my biggest gripe is that he should have left talking about Destiny in a more positive light way longer ago than he did. And I'm not saying that, like, he has to outright start defaming him, but he should have stopped, like, he should have stopped talking about Destiny or working about Destiny a long time ago, in my personal opinion. Like, the minute he knew this, he probably should have started, like, backing away from Destiny, in my personal opinion. That's just my personal opinion, though. Good thing I don't care in this drama. You know, yeah, I mean, like, again, at the end of the day, it's just kind of like petty, stupid drama, but I'm just giving my opinion on this because I think that it's important. Destiny is a girl's name. It is. It is. Anyway.
Another woman reached out saying they also had their nudes shared without their consent. One girl even claimed she filed a police report on Destiny for secretly recording them having sex, which, if true, is such a violation of another person's privacy. I genuinely hope he faces criminal consequences for it. This is not the first time this accusation has come up.
The way that Lauren keeps saying this is that, like, is implying that I'm, like, recording me people or recording me like sexual stuff or something like that. That's how she, like, implies it. When Lauren says it over and over again, that's what she's referring to.
The response he gave on Reddit as well as in his stream come off as absurd, like he's the victim.
A lot of vulture culture streams tonight. A lot of clout hungry people that wanted to spend 12 hours reacting to this are going to be very disappointed, and I'm sure they'll have their own conspiratorial reasons for why I'm saying what I am saying.
His friends have all disavowed him. His podcast host says he told it.
Why even talk about that, in my personal opinion? I don't know. I'm just like bewildered by that. Like, why even come? Because it feels like he's trying to get out ahead of shit when he should have just laid his head low. I don't know. They all just want to get enough dirt on each other to cancel each other and eat each other's subscribers. I mean, I'm not gonna say I believe or disbelieve in that. I just think it's either way. I think that if you are noticing somebody doing something like Destiny does and he's not willing to stop, then you should disassociate with him and stop publicly like being friendly or defending him. And it doesn't matter if like I know that like he was at the very least modestly talking in a positive light about Destiny when he was going over the Boblack stuff. And in my personal opinion, like I do believe that Boblax was kind of wrong when it came to the Destiny debate. He didn't really need to carry water for Destiny when it came to that. In my personal opinion, he didn't need to, but that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, this isn't a video about Diorio. This is a video about Destiny.
His wife to leave him.
I'll say this also. I think Steven was a really shitty husband to Melina. Okay? I'm coming out here saying it right now. I don't think Steve would deny it either, but it's not good. The way that he was. Like, I talked with Melina a lot of times and she was crying and miserable and everything else. And Steve would say, what do you want me to say? I'm a selfish motherfucker. That's why I'm in the relationship that I'm in. He was like, you know, what should I do? Should I leave? And I'll tell you this, I never was like, I was never like, no, you should stay and make things out. I told her multiple times, like, listen, if you feel like this is an abusive relationship, get the fuck out of there immediately.
Acting like he's betrayed because nobody reached out to him.
I want to write up a list of all the people, actually, hold on. Because there were some people that messaged me to like figure out like what was actually going on before they kind of decided to do all this like crazy public stuff about it. I just want to read off a list of those people.
I saw this when it happened.
Okay.
This was pretty funny. Is that a cat?
And that's all of them. That was a little bit shocking as well, but okay.
So I reached out confronting him, asking him pointed questions, and his answers were disappointing. So much so it made me wonder why he would want anyone to reach out at all. His enemies would use all of this to take victory laps on Destiny.
First of all, okay, I would say that I'm pretty confident that...
Yeah, when you give Hassan a W like this, you know that you fucked up. Oh gosh, don't give Hassan a win because it's not going to be good. It's just not going to be good.
Everyone who was featured in these videos also sent videos of them and other people as well. But nobody talks about that.
Okay. Classic, I just made up a no you defense, but that's cool.
Hassan is getting a W over the guy who was trying to get him banned for the past 3 months. Painful. Destiny would throw away all his credibility because he wanted to goon. This is the sort of video I finish and I just want to shake my head in disappointment. I need Z-Biotic pre-alcohol to get through this.
I think he's going to do a
Rudy,
sponsor.
we all have busy lives and we can't waste today's video. For background information, all these leaks are coming from a 19-year-old girl named Rose is Coming.
That kind of shit is literally disgusting, that he would try to trap a little girl. And I don't want to be presumptuous. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry if this upsets you because you're 19, or I'm sorry if this upsets you because you're 22 or something, right? Or if you're some legal guy or whatever, you know, when you're 19, you're a little kid, okay? Now, if you're 22, a 19-year-old's not a kid to you.
I see what he's doing. This is an old clip of Destiny. I don't remember when it happened. I just remember that it happened. Where he's trying to say that he has nothing in common with younger people. I get what he's saying here. The joke is that that Destiny is saying he has nothing to do with young people, and yet the person that leaked this was a 19-year-old. Is having relations with actual women still called gooning? Yes. Yes.
A 19-year-old might as well be a 15-year-old to me. It's all the fucking same, dude.
Well, now he's 36 and still talking to 19-year-olds. This Rose person would either get hacked or leak the videos herself. We still don't know for sure. And all of these people's most embarrassing moments are now cemented online. Now, it's worth noting that Destiny didn't share these images because he wanted to embarrass anyone. He was trying to goon with Rose.
Just because of some legal age of consent, whatever bullshit,
I have about as much in common with like an 18-year-old, 19-year-old freshman in school as I would have sophomore in high school. Any type of inclination.
This is brutal. Holy shit. I didn't really watch past really the first couple of minutes here. This is oh man, I really like it when people are able to pull up previous clips of things that people have said. Now, to be honest with you, sometimes I feel like it's a little unfair when it could be that the person has changed their opinions, and they no longer represent the opinions that are being shown. I still think it's just kind of funny that this stuff is being brought up back again, to show that he's just a little bit of a hypocrite. If you're 19, you are 10. That's what they say. That's what they say. Self-snitching at its finest. Well, this is Destiny. I don't know how long ago, but it is definitely more than a couple of years old, because this is back when Destiny. Oh man, this was back when Destiny had a Twitch account, chat, and you all know how long ago that was. That was quite a long time ago. Oh, excuse me. So I just think it's more than anything really funny that like this is what he said back then. And now the reality is, yeah, he's gooning with a 19-year-old woman, which does not matter. If a woman is 18, over the age of 18, she's an adult, and I don't really care what people do with other adults, no matter what their age. It's just kind of funny. It's just kind of funny that this is what's being shown here.
Nation towards any of those people is really fucking weird.
I'm listening to clips of Destiny from last year
Hold
defending
on, let's
himself from women's
roll it back 10 seconds.
As I would have fucking sophomore in high school. Any type of inclination towards any of those people is really fucking weird.
Oh man, I wish that I had waited to pause until then. That is really funny. So the Destiny of the past now is going to obviously say that the Destiny of now is really fucking weird. Oh gosh. So long ago we covered it on the kill stream. Oh my, is that how long ago that was? Oh my gosh, I feel my body aging already.
Listening to clips of Destiny from last year defending himself from women saying that he's secretly recording them.
Lauren keeps like typing messages that make it sound like I'm secretly recording people having sex. That's what it's.
Bro, okay. I would not have the mental fortitude to do this, but this is something that like I just thought of here. With the amount of times he has said shit like this, and then it turns out that it is all real, how much stuff in Destiny's backstory do you think you could dig through? And it's all shit that has actually happened. Like right now he's just saying, oh, she's claiming that I record her. That is literally a self-report of him basically admitting that he's recording. Even if it's not really that, but like he's trying to make the person he's talking about sound crazy by saying, oh, she's crazy, she thinks I'm recording people, and he's actually doing it. That is so weird. Oh man. Oh, it's me, Gator. Yes, chat, that is actually Gator. That is the gamer Gator. Holy shit. This is insane though. The fact that he I don't know. That this is just funny to listen to. Why do people ever record themselves doinking? How many Dennis Reynolds are there in the world? People do it for very weird and depraved reasons. I'm going to tell you, chat, right now, right here, right now, in front of God, angels, and these witnesses, if I ever get, one, again, if I get a partner, you will never know. And two, if I have a partner, there will be no moments where we record the things that we do to each other. All right? Because if I get married, the events that happen between me and my spouse are for me and me only, and none of you will get to see them whatsoever. All right? There's not going to be any leaks. There's not going to be any of that shit because it's for me and them only. I'm a huge proponent in believing that only your partner gets to see you. So only she would get that. So I don't understand why people record themselves. I personally think that it is, I was about to say cringe, but I believe it's more than just a cringe to record yourself. So I don't really understand that, but, you know, I would say you do you, but I just think that that leads to way too many issues. Way too many issues, in my personal opinion. So don't do it.
sounds like.
And then, oh look, what am I seeing on Twitter? This girl named Sherry saying Destiny secretly recorded her and shared it with people. One of the leaked DMs is Destiny showing audio of a dude he hooked up with, saying this just ended with him finishing. Again, audio's scuffed because my phone was in my pocket. It was in your pocket? Was it there because he didn't know you were recording?
Oh, that's interesting. See, I thought all of the audio that Destiny had done was consensual. That would be really bad. Oh man, I just, again, it's very obvious, chat, that this is a thing for him. It is a thing for Destiny where he just records himself or records other people along with himself doing things. It's very obvious that it is a thing. It's like, you cannot deny that. It is Destiny. You have some strange way to get, and I'm not going to like flame you too hard because people are like really strange things. But like, don't do that. That's probably, well, not even probably. It may be illegal where you live. I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
This guy did an entire arc arguing with red pillars on boundaries with his wife and how you should treat women. These videos were not shared with consent. One of the victims was Pixie, who heavily trusted Destiny. She described herself as extremely sexually inexperienced and sheltered. I had multiple long conversations regarding consent and boundaries with Destiny. Has all of these conversations about consent and boundaries and then does this without consent. Amazing. The fact that Destiny didn't maliciously share these videos might matter legally. That will have to be determined, but it doesn't really matter for the victims. Now, does it? Their nudes are out there for their parents, employers, and friends to see. The leaks happened in November. By the end of December, Kiwi Farms, as well as many other creators, knew who the participants were. There were group chats talking about it. The most prominent victim in this story, Pixie, confronted Destiny about sharing her nudes without consent. I'm super sorry, there's literally zero excuses. In DMs, Aaron wrote
Okay, so yeah, this is a story that kind of started back when the Kiwi Farms got the leaks. So up until the leaks were released on the farms, nobody knew that they existed outside of Destiny and the random 19-year-old girl he decided that he was going to talk to, which, again, according to Destiny, is very fucking weird because she has nothing in common with him and he has nothing in common with her. So very weird that he would be talking to somebody that he has nothing in common with, but that is who would be the recipient of these leaks. Again, I just don't understand that, man. A good chunk was not consensual and was illegal in some states. Well, okay, it probably will be illegal in some states, but it really matters which state that it happened in, because if it happened in a state that has revenge pornography, yeah, this guy's fucked. This guy's really fucked. Oh gosh.
to Destiny. You didn't leak it maliciously, you distributed it non-consensually. Yeah, I know, I have severely damaged her. Confirming yes, he did do this, making him come off like a complete fraud. He has hours of content telling people how to live their lives, that they have no moral standards. Meanwhile, he's going on trips to Israel with his friend Lonerbox, while pocketing nudes of a girl he was having a thing with. There's a video of Pixie's dad thanking Destiny for being a good friend.
No.
First of all, many thanks for being a friend to my
No.
daughter.
Oh, that makes this so much more sad. Oh, the fact that, like, oh my gosh, do you how again, I am no stranger. I'm sure none of us are strangers to having disappointed parents. I'm sure that all of you have disappointed your parents at some point in your life, and you probably potentially could do it again. But how, like, disappointed do you think her parents were when they realized that their face is here on the internet, or at least his, I think that's just her dad. Imagine how he must feel. This is really fucked. Imagine how he must feel knowing that a couple of years prior he had told Destiny, hey, thank you for protecting my daughter and being an ally to people like my daughter. And he just finds out, like, again, a couple of months ago, because this is when the leaks were happening, and he just finds out, oh shit, this guy was actually doing shit with my daughter. I don't know how I would react, personally. Thanks for fucking my daughter. Retro perspective. Yeah. This arc is getting dark. Always, it gets darker. I'm sure.
Okay.
But she appreciates your friendship, and I appreciate that that you are friends.
Thanks. Well, I try my best. I'm a friendly
person.
person.
Dude, do you okay? I don't want to. I'm not. Is it? I wonder if by this point they were already doing things together. I really do wonder. Because, like, you can hear how dismissive Destiny sounds. Like, oh, thanks, really appreciate it, man. I do wonder if by this point there had been things happening. Oh. A lot of this stuff has been known. It's just been brought to light. The problem is that people don't want to touch this stuff until they're... I don't know, man. The problem is that it takes people taking it off the farms in order for it to matter. Because, like, the chances are, I bet you go to the farms and you probably could find potentially, like, egregious stuff like this. And nobody's just talked about it because it's not the right time. Or it's not been brought into the public light. And because it's on the farms, nobody cares. And it just takes that one special moment for somebody to talk about it. And I guess when it comes to Destiny, it's just the right moment to talk about it.
You know? Bruh, this is painful to watch. Pixie is talking to Kyla here. They're friends, but Kyla has a conflict of interest. Her and her husband moved from Canada to work with Destiny. They uprooted their whole lives for this. Pixie emphasizes Steven has to face the consequences proportional to his actions. I want this to be the most expensive mistake of his life. I'm essentially asking him to punish himself in a way I don't think he will or agree with without the law getting involved. I don't have a dollar amount from the top of my head. It just has to be enough for the rest of his life. If he thinks of the word nude, he associates it with the amount of money he lost. $1 million is a price that gets thrown around in later DMs, and upon reading that, me and a lot of other people initially laughed, but then I thought about it. If somebody leaked my nudes, I would want their head. I can't have that, so $1 million from a millionaire sounds fair enough. Kyla then starts to look like she's protecting Destiny in these messages. It wasn't clear to me before that this is what you wanted specifically. My understanding is it was more of a sense of rehabilitation. Now, this was only one leak. You know how many times he's probably shared these nudes and not gotten caught? But Kyla's like, Pixie, you don't understand. He's super sorry. In an interview Kyla gave Tom, it comes off...
I vaguely recall reading about this. So, to re-explain, one of the people that, like, basically decided to move in to work with Destiny, it sounds like she's trying to sweep it under the rug because... Obviously because she's kind of tied at the hip to Destiny. I mean, like, that would really suck. I mean, I definitely wouldn't do that. Like, if I had a friend who was a sex pest, like Destiny... and I had moved in with them, I would have to find a move out real. I'd be like, hey mom, don't laugh, but like I need to get over. I need to come meet you like pretty soon. I'm already booking a fly. Like I could not imagine that. Like that would really bite. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really just don't. That's just, oh man. I don't know. What would you do, chat? How can you respond to something like that? Your best friend fucked somebody that you know, and yeah, I don't know how you kind of, I don't know how you react to that. Wow.
Officer looking out for Destiny.
Just to me, like, recording somebody and then without their knowledge and leaking it is like a full on, like it's a pretty like sexually invasive crime. Leaking somebody's nudes, I think, is also really bad. To be clear, I think it is really bad. But the issue is that I think it's fundamentally just a more common issue that people do. It's definitely, in my experience, not the first time that somebody has.
Okay, again, this is the woman that moved down to live near Destiny and to work with him. Oh man, I would be very disappointed. Yeah, I would too.
Like leaked nudes. I think it's not okay. Like when you hear about like guys like showing other guys like tits that some girls shan't, like I think it's gross, and there's a reason I don't look at it.
I mean that's I agree it's less severe, but you know,
so
this isn't a bunch of high schoolers, right? This is a 35-year-old guy who's doing this.
Sure, but the law.
Thank you, Tom.
Right?
Boys will be boys is a crazy statement coming from someone whose last video is about feminism. She's like, only if Destiny does the worst thing possible will it matter to me.
The way I'm getting painted here is like really, really far from the truth, and I don't really know why.
You look like Ghislaine Maxwell.
I know.
Wow.
She says that Steven showed accountability.
Accurate though, based off of how she's trying to sweep this, because it does sound like she's trying to sweep this off. I'll be like, oh, it's just boys will be boys, and like it's not the same as some of this other stuff. legally it may not be the same, but I don't think you're going to win over any no, people aren't going to agree with you. I think people are just going to think, okay, so you're trying to sweep this away. Why would you willingly attach yourself? Again, this is a question I have asked myself whenever I look at people that have orbited him for the last couple of years. Even when it comes to Turkey Tom, I'm just sitting here like, why the fuck did you attack? Like, I know that he is obviously fully detached himself. What the fuck did I get that? I know that he's obviously detached himself now, Turkey Tom, but like he was like at the hip almost when it came to Destiny. Like he made, if I remember correctly, he like made a video and he's like done multiple things talking about him. Like him and some of the commentary community have been trying to rehabilitate the image of Destiny, and I just like, why the fuck would you do this? Why would you try and rehabilitate this guy's image? Like, the past couple of years are proof enough this guy doesn't deserve a second chance. This guy needs to be left alone for when this shit happens. And you decide that you want to try and rehabilitate Destiny. Sorry, I'm starting a different game because I'm done digging right now. Like, you want to rehabilitate Destiny? I don't like, there's just a certain point, chat. That's not possible. It's just not possible. Look out for this. Don't worry, chat. So I don't understand why so many of these people stood close to him for as long as they did. It just doesn't make any sense. He needs to be in jail. Probably. I mean, if he is convicted by the courts, he definitely should go to jail. Rehabilitate. I just don't get it. Like, I do not believe that you can rehabilitate Stephen Bennell II. I believe that Destiny is somebody that became this way, and there's just a certain point where you need to let people like fuck off and learn. Like, I've had family members in my life that have needed to like fuck off and go learn life, and if they get punished and like hurt because of what they do, well, I'm not gonna be part of their life or help them. And in my personal opinion, the fact that so many people surrounded him trying to make him look better or trying to help him or trying to downplay things that he's done is just like, bro, what the fuck? A short drop and all of a sudden stop fixes for people like Destiny real easy? You know. Destiny was useful to them until he wasn't. That's the thing that bothers me the most, is if that's the truth, that bothers me. Destiny was getting more help than Ricada. Ricada's not really somebody worth. Ricada was definitely somebody that people are like, ooh, I can't touch that. But I know what you mean. Like, it's just, you can't touch this. If you touch him, you're gonna get the stink. Like, you're just gonna get the stink. And so I don't understand why people try to mess with that. I don't know. Tough love is needed. I agree.
A step-by-step plan on how he was going to
collect. And again, I am glad that people are detaching now. I'm glad that you got people like the Oreo and Turkey Tom that are obviously stepping away. But I don't like, and again, like, if ever this is, like, if ever a question be asked, like, why did you stick with him when he has a past? With all of the shit that you see of him in the past, it's not worth it. Just is not worth it. Period. So, the Tommy and Dream drama is getting worse. Oh dear. Is that? I don't really care about that today. You can send send something like that to me in the future. Ricada, the only Metokur fan blacker than you. Oh my gosh.
Basically, the moment that I saw like remorsefulness, accountability, and like a step-by-step plan of like how he was going to correct the issue, that's when I was like, okay, I can still work with this person, because it's like the try and the accountability that matters to me.
What was his plan? Because all I saw was Destiny blaming his actions on being off of Vyvanse. Apparently, if he's off of his meds, he doesn't have to respect people's privacy. Interesting symptoms. I want to point out that Pixie stands by that Kyla was being a good friend despite how she comes off. It's worth acknowledging that. When this story hit the wider public, Destiny gave a statement on Reddit. He titled it "Legal Arc Beginning in Mysterious Ways." Such wow. Which shows how unserious he is about this whole thing. Like, what if he gets criminally convicted? Will he label that his prison arc? He says he had no intention of these images or videos leaking, and that he hasn't spoken up for the following reasons. He was going to pursue litigation, most likely against the hacker and sites hosting the leaks, and that he didn't want to bring publicity to the material. 3. I've been trying to move on from covering drama content, as it has had an increasingly negative impact on those in my life. You want to move on? Now that the drama's about you, it's not...
Side note, isn't it funny how people... And I have not done this when I went through my drama, but Isn't it funny how people like to move on with the drama when they get affected by it? I do think that is kind of funny. Just personally, I think that's kind of funny. Because it's always because the drama makes them look bad or feel bad or whatever. But that always happens. Happened with Tipster, happened with Boblax, and now it's happening with Destiny.
Fun anymore. People always act.
Xander Hall is proof that a special needs person can succeed even without a bank account. I've heard that Xander Hall is kind of popping off. So that's kind of funny.
Like they're above covering drama when they become the subject matter. 4. One person involved has expressed suicidal thoughts in relation to the matter, and I did not want to exacerbate the situation by talking about it publicly. Now that's a nice sentiment, but it's already all out there. The real reason he's quiet is because it's going through litigation. I can't help but roll my eyes when I read parts of this. I increasingly felt uncomfortable by the language being used regarding to financial punishment and wanting to teach me a lesson, along with constant references to the precariousness of someone's mental health. You're being punished. It's not supposed to be comfortable. You know it's bad when the top comment is, I wish my streamer watched horse porn instead.
I want to f a woman.
Oh no, somebody get Rima. I follow Xander Hall. I'm sorry. I mean, you can follow whoever you want. I think that he's kind of crazy for me.
As a horse.
I can't believe Destiny gave this guy a W. And his return stream wasn't any better, using the same...
Yeah, so this is the thing that's kind of really sad. Destiny has given all the people that hate him now such wins, and it's kind of depressing. He didn't have to do that, but he did. Ron Rima.
Dr. Disrespect came back with. Destiny's response isn't great. He's since banned all the alleged victims from his community. He said, bro, if I need to go on the sex offender list, I'm taking 20 other streamers with me. Okay, lol, W.
So,
who are these 20?
Is it bad that I hope that this isn't a joke? Like, I legitimately hope he's got because of how crazy he is, I legitimately hope that Destiny has 20 people that he's going to take down with him, because it would be the most insane thing ever. And if they are real sex pests, hey, great, we'll get rid of real sex pests. But I also think it's really kind of disgusting that if Destiny did actually have 20 people that he's been defending for the longest time, like, why, again, I don't like the hiding people like this until it's beneficial to get rid of them. I don't know. I'm just really interested to see this list. I really want to see this list, you know? Self-report? Oh, well, obviously. Obviously.
20 other streamers. Is there a Google Drive where perverts on Twitch upload other people's nudes? I repeat, how long has this been going on for? How sorry could he be? Not very if he's been covering for 20 other streamers doing the same thing. But then I
want to see the list, please. Destiny, give me the list.
What he did, and then on the other hand, threatening acquaintances.
If you're one of my coworkers out there and you're making your little bit of a strong statement about how much you condemn Destiny and everything else, you better not let me find you doing something else and signing some other bullshit off for someone else, or you know, being weak. Because if that's gonna be the case, either be all the way fucking in or all the way fucking out. Okay, that's all I'm gonna tell you. All these half in the door motherfuckers, too much of a pussy to do anything else. Like, I get it, fine. If you're a content creator, you rely on this for your fucking life, then fine. Then f off. Then say that Destiny's a pervert, all that type of shit, and fucking go away forever. And that's what you should do. And f off permanently. Same front there. I will say that I think that Steve has changed a lot, especially over the last year, where he is not like that type of person anymore.
That's funny.
You guys don't fucking you don't see it because you don't know who he is.
People don't want to hear about how much he's changed when this has all just happened.
But if you think that you're going to say a strong statement, say that you're not fucking with him right now, and come back in 2 months, you is what I have to say.
I am not with Destiny. I never will be with Destiny, and I hope that I never have the chance to talk to him, because Destiny is one of those kinds of people that actively pushes down reputation by being near him. Like, legitimately, if I talk to Destiny, people will somehow wonder if I am, like, friendly with him. So I never want to be in his vicinity, because he actively drags down people by being near him. Who is this? Podcast partner, I believe.
You're worse than anyone. You're definitely worse than me. At least I'm honest about the situation. I've known the dude for 15 years. I can say that what he did was fucked up. He knows what he did was fucked up. He knows that he has to change, and he knows he's gonna have fucking...
Guys, he just decided to record people without their consent and spread them with a 19-year-old woman. Sorry, I don't really care about the age. Everybody says 19-year-old, so that's like the first thing that comes to mind. He just shared images with another woman on the internet that he wanted to fuck. It's obviously he knows, chat. He knows it was a mistake. He feels bad for it. It's one of those things that I don't feel like you easily feel bad for. I don't know. I don't know. Do you guys think he feels bad for that? I don't know.
Consequences for it. But for you, you're just a fucking weasel. All these motherfuckers that did this whole all the way in, all the way out. Any of these motherfuckers try to come back in after they've done their little strong weasel statement doing it? That noise.
How do you know he's changed, Dan? Did you know he was doing this? It's such an odd statement. How is Dan playing both sides this hard? So unless you stand by Destiny, you can't ever engage with him again. It's about to be a very lonely career. Abba called out Destiny, pointing out that this was always where his lifestyle was going to lead, and says that he has no respect for anyone he's intimate with.
I think that people look at some of the standard markers for trouble and they, for some reason, project a ton of stuff onto me, but I think I'm living like one of the healthiest, fullest lives that I possibly could.
Oh.
You know, constantly.
Jeez. Did I get a... Okay, no, I thought I had a surprise elf in there. Okay.
Having poor relationships with women over a long period of time, or in other situations, STDs, different things like that. Eventually, that hedonism comes back to bite them in the life, and they also recognize they could have invested that time a lot better.
No, shut up, Melina, shut up. Let him talk. What do you mean? Constantly
hold on.
Anything you do in life that's going to increase like your ability to like have fun or do like crazy stuff or whatever is always going to carry with it like the risk of death, right?
Absolutely.
Like you have no chance of dying by falling out of a plane unless you go skydiving, but that's not an argument. It's never skydiving.
Yeah, but it is an argument against maybe skydiving 1,000 times if you don't want to die that way.
Well, if you want to skydive 1,000 times, then
He does bring up a good point. Like, not Destiny, the guy he's talking to. Destiny's constant like degradation, and this is something that I constantly like. This is something I've been a little more conscious of myself. The constant degradation of Destiny is obviously what led him to this point, because it got worse and worse and worse over time. I think that if he just kept to his wife, he probably wouldn't have been doing this. Obviously, if he kept to his wife, he probably wouldn't have any of these pictures, because he wouldn't be taking pictures of other women. Probably just his wife. But like, I think that the fact that he allowed himself to coom too hard, that is why things are as crazy as they are, because he's, as always, when it comes to some of these situations, they are seeking a different weird high, and that high led them to this place. I just hope that he stops before it goes even further south. I don't know.
can skydive 1,000 times. Like, what's wrong? Damn, what happened to all the self-empowerment shit that you guys were talking about earlier? If your lifestyle choices are like, damn, I would never want to deal with like a crazy girl or anything like that. That's totally valid. I think it's totally fine. I accept that that's probably true for most people. But like, I'm okay with the trade-off on that for like all the benefits that I get. I like f***ing a lot of people. I like traveling a lot. I like doing drugs. I like my stream shit. That's like super fun for me. To be like, well, doesn't bad stuff happen sometimes so you shouldn't do it? That doesn't compute to me.
Or to others, because I think the main thing with this is you have to think about the activity. The activity involves hurting others. Like even Destiny, as good as he is at what he does, probably could admit he's broken a lot of hearts. He's disappointed a lot of women. He's made a lot of people upset. It's not just how he feels about it. When you involve other people in this kind of pursuit of pleasure, other people get hurt as well. I'll stand by what I said at the beginning. I don't feel bad for Steven whatsoever because he knew what he was getting into. He was brazen about it. When he was warned, when he said, hey, this is a bad idea, this is a bad lifestyle, he said, I don't care, I want to have fun. It's fun for me. That's why I like these mentally ill women.
He's had this public view for years. But no, guys, Dan and Kyla says he's changed in the past month.
If you're currently hanging out with like a streamer that does like denial all day, every day, or that has someone on a DUI or something along those lines, like it's gonna be once we find that out, I think that's like gonna be kind of a rough one to be like why you threw someone under the bus just for clout.
Such a weird threat to throw out there to try and keep people in line. Well, I've hung out with a person who got a DUI, Dan. What are you gonna do about it? So I reached out to Destiny for some clarification. There's no point in even reading them to you because he copy and pasted the same response to every question, that he doesn't want to comment farther until he's past litigation. He clarifies, I'm aware that these answers are super unsatisfying, and it sucks it looks super guilty for me to respond this way. And even this might be saying too much. But any statement that I make could become part of a record for any court case, for any number of things that are foreseen and unforeseen to me right now. And there's a possibility that I say something that feels true.
I forgot he was targeting people with mental issues. Yes, he specifically targeted women with mental issues. That is crazy. I mean, like, all women deserve love. Even the feet enjoyers. Sorry, Lumi. But, that's kind of crazy that that's specifically what he went after. I don't know. I don't know. I think that all people deserve love, but the fact that he only went after mentally unwell women kind of tells me a lot about him. I don't know.
True, but ends up not being true in the future. He then gives an example on how seemingly throwaway comments can lead to big consequences in court. He's right, because honestly, what is he supposed to do? Incriminate himself? He's going to let the legal process play out. So I asked Destiny if there was any false narratives being pushed, and if there was anything he wanted me to say that wasn't already public. He replied with people validating prior individuals who are insane, despite there being no evidence to validate them, is crazy conspiratorial nonsense. I assume he's talking about Mr. Girl's document, where he lists every girl who has ever had a problem with Destiny. Destiny continues, there's obviously multiple affected parties, but it's rich that all of these people who cry about cancel culture and innocent until proven guilty have no problems making the most insane assumptions about a man, and have no problem engaging with people who are insanely toxic when it comes to male victims of any kind of weird sexual shit. He defended himself a bit more on Twitter against Nick, saying, I didn't admit to anything. Meanwhile, you can just read the messages where Destiny says, yeah, I know. I've damaged her severely. Nobody cares about you being the victim because you caused all of this. There is no
Willie, what you miss is that he didn't admit to it publicly. That's the important part. Where can we find mentally well women, Occo? I don't know. Mentally well women? Go to a church. You'll find mentally well women at church. A lot of them are seeking their husband to pump out 10 babies. That's where you look.
Expectation for Kiwi Farms being the good guy. They have the leaks because you shared them with Rose. He goes on to say that people named Lav and Kelly Jean have been distributing his nudes, revenge porn in the literal truest sense. How many crazy women are part of this guy's life? At what point can I victim blame him? Ryan Beard's telling a story about how some girl named Anna is stalking you and your solution was to sext her.
He did stalk me.
That she locked? Okay, then why are you sexting with her still?
We're cool. We've been cool for a year, Max.
Okay, so you acknowledge that you've been sexting with her for a year.
Yeah, we've had on and off, sure. Max, can you acknowledge that I haven't said anything bad about her for a year? I've said we've been fine. I've said that over and over.
The last time I talked to you about her, like 2 weeks ago or 16 days ago or something, you said that she locked you in the basement of her mind and it was a traumatic experience for you.
She locked me in the past. In the past, Max.
Oh, okay.
Why? Tell me, Max. Why hasn't Anna come forward with any of this information now? Can you tell me?
Probably because you scared her. I don't know. Oh.
Do you want me to tell everybody why?
I don't want to speak on her behalf.
Okay, I will. It's because she said she literally wants to remain friends with me.
He had his whole community feeling bad for him being stalked as he was doing this. There are parts of streams where he's condemning people for sharing nudes non-consensually.
Yeah, you know, me and Melina have problems, but I don't think I f***ed up at all in this. I'm not running around screen sharing people's nudes.
Bro, this shows that he knows this was bad. He was using this to expose someone. The embarrassing part about this drama isn't that a video leaked of Destiny sucking an Oscar Mayer. It's that he's thrown away his credibility. He comes off like a fraud. We did speak in the off-the-record voice call. It was not recorded. And he was giving off the vibe that things might not be what they seem, but because of litigation, I couldn't know what he was referring to. I certainly couldn't just blindly believe him. You look at his social media and he's memeing about the whole thing, posting himself dressed as Dr. Disrespect. Yeah, Dan and Kyla, you're right. Destiny's totally rehabilitated and remorseful over this whole thing. It's very obvious. So is Destiny's career over because of this? Well, if Tim Pool can frame himself as a patriot while secretly taking Russian money, Vosh can say Lolly makes you a pedo while having a folder full of Lolly, Hassan can frame himself as more credible than the media while reporting every story wrong, and Tyler Oliveira can pretend to be a journalist while just making up stories on the spot, then why wouldn't Destiny recover from this?
I mean, he's correct.
The real punishment is
very correct of all of these people. Oh, man, I forgot about some of those stories. The Vouch one is the funniest, though, in my personal opinion.
Hassan will bring this up every chance he gets.
I can't believe that there are still Destiny fans in here. He kind of made you, though. Why you so ungrateful he brought you in? No. Why not just talk it out, bro? He was your friend at one point. Dude, I don't know if you understand. We're having a conversation about this dude serially making sex tapes of the people he sometimes consensually and sometimes non-consensually records and is unconsensually sending to other people that he wants to fuck. And you're like, why don't you become friends with that guy again? I don't know, because he's Gross.
And Tassan is totally right. You know how hard that is to say? Again, if you're a left-leaning political viewer, your options are cooked. But seriously, it seems like if you have a political audience, you could get away with anything. You have Joe Biden's millionaire drug-fueled son getting pardoned after he said he wouldn't do it, and Donald Trump, our current sitting president, was part of an electoral scheme. But no, this is when political audiences finally take a stand. Sure, these audiences will excuse everything because they think the ends justifies the means. Hearing Lonerbox lay out his 2025 aspirations is hilarious until you realize how true it is.
I look forward to sometime coming back when I can like brand myself as the only remaining political streamer who doesn't have sex scandals and doesn't support terrorists.
Man,
for some
that's
reason
gonna
it's always
suck.
one or the other.
They're very musical people.
Are you being serious?
We have Xander Hall. No, yeah, we have Xander Hall. Just don't tell Flamenco about him. Don't tell Flamenco that the guy's back. I don't think he'll care though. Tim Pool got married. Well, congratulations for Tim Pool. Glad he got married. Hopefully he didn't do it with Russian money.
Dog, what do you look? You think I made this? This isn't music. I know they're singing, but I'm seeing just guns and shoot. This isn't a music video, Hassan.
No, it is. They do musicals about like their actions all the time.
Yeah, they're militarized action.
When I looked at it, I think the vibe that I got was like short stack, thick kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like the way like goblins get drawn in porn.
The fuck?
Fun fact, chat. He was looking at a VTuber. Not a lot of people actually know that. Vosh had VTuber. The lollies were VTubers. Or at least one of them was. Okay. Isn't that funny? Just figured I should let you know that, by the way.
Straight up the ass raw dog with the rash.
Destiny was objectively wrong for this and deserves all of the backlash. I think it's important to acknowledge that the people who exposed this story were not
VTubers
looking
ruining
out for the
people's
victims
lives
at
left
all.
and
In
right.
fact, they were actively working against their best interests. In comes President Sunday and Beckett. Neither of these people had direct contact with Destiny, Kyla, Pixie, or anyone else involved in this story. They never even tried to reach out, yet they were the ones who posted videos outing the whole thing. The only information they have comes from Aaron leaking all of Pixie's messages. They are only working with second-hand information. In Sunday's video, he says Pixie's silence was bought in exchange for Destiny paying for her law school, leaving all the other victims out to dry.
Pixie has sent
Matsuri from HoloLive. Oh, here, I want to look this up. I forgot about that. Matsuri HoloLive. Oh, chat. So, you want to know what the short stack goblin looks like? This is Hassan's short stack goblin. I don't know. There you go. Short stack goblin right there. Oh goodness, that is hilarious. But anyway, this isn't about Vosh.
since said nothing publicly. There has been no evidence of legal proceedings being pursued, and she has seemingly ceased communications with the people she was previously working with, instead posting on X about taking the LSAT in pursuit of law school. It appears as though her attempt to extort Destiny has probably paid off, albeit at the expense of every other person Destiny has victimized in the past and will victimize in the future.
His evidence for this is a single tweet of her saying she took the LSAT, as if you could just sign up and pass this test within a month. So at this point, my mind was blown that someone would out a victim for a 100k view video while the victim was still discussing their options, and then determined their silence was bought over a tweet. No need to confirm anything. So I reached out to Pixie to try and confirm if she ever talked to Sunday or Beckett about this. Pixie has pursued litigation against Destiny. However, she did let Lonerbox, who she's dating, provide some details.
Did President Sunday reach out to Pixie one time to see if he could go live with this video or to confirm that the draft was canceled or anything like that?
No, he didn't.
It is so incredibly selfish of Sunday.
You know what's crazy is when I first listened to that President Sunday video, and maybe I should have definitely done more looking into it, but I was under the assumption that he had reached out to her at least a little bit to talk about this. That is crazy. So President Sunday didn't talk to anybody. He just made this video. That is insane. Wow. Like, okay. I mean, there are some situations when you're covering something that reaching out to somebody isn't necessary. For this, I feel like it might be just kind of necessary. Maybe just a little bit. Like, if the person put out a Google Doc, you can talk about the Google Doc and all that kind of shit. But, like, if she hasn't put anything out there, You gotta be real. Oh, probably can't grab that. You gotta be really careful. Someone draw Akko as a goblin. Oh no. I'd be fine with that.
They take agency away from Pixie because one, she's pursuing legal action, and you guys making this public gives Destiny ample time to delete evidence, while Pixie's team was still building their case. I know I look smart enough to come up with that point myself. I'm not, so take that how you will. 4 days before Sunday released his video, he had a conversation with Nick acknowledging that Pixie was suicidal over this leaking.
All I'm getting from this is she's really not going to want this to be public. She wants to hurt Steven, but she doesn't want this to be known that she's done this and this is her.
Yeah.
And she desperately doesn't want her family to know. And if I cover it, there's a good chance they will find out.
Oh, 100%. Why do you think I haven't covered this at all? Like that's my principal issue.
Yeah, that's
here's the thing. If anything happens to Pixie in the foreseeable future,
it all drops.
Well, he will actually be destroyed.
This is
that
insane.
Will be insurmountable.
Again, I listened to this under the understanding that he had already talked to the girl. Thank you for the 10. Appreciate it. Thank you. The fact that he didn't talk to her is just mind-boggling to me. I don't understand it. Why would you not at the very least ask? Because again, I understand Nick's position, and I agree that that if you know about something like this, you got to be very sensitive. It is a very sensitive topic. You can't just willy-nilly go out and share this kind of shit. Thank you again for the another 10, Sneaky. So the fact that I'm at the very least glad that Nick understands that. For some of my criticisms about him, I do believe that he knows how to spread a story. I just don't understand why. Like, the only reason I can assume, and people have said that this is definitely the case. The only thing I can assume is that President Sunday did this because he wanted to hurt Destiny, and he didn't care about what it did in the interim at all. Thank you, Sneaky, for another 10. I appreciate it.
Destroyed. He'll have his channel. He'll have his audience, but there will be no
politics.
The media company dream will not be a thing. So
it sounds like he's getting excited over the idea of Pixie killing herself and it ending Destiny's career.
Jeez.
This dude sounds like a psychopath. In fact, during his call with Nick, he
sounds like a psychopath.
Saying as much.
Here's the thing.
First, thank you for the another 10. Second, the only reason why we have this audio between him and Nick is because he personally released this audio. The President Sunday guy, he personally released this audio because he felt like it would be an own at Nick to release it and show it to people, talking about all of this. And a good addition is some of this audio was included in his video when talking about this situation. I just don't get it. Thank you for another 10. I appreciate that. Left purity spiral. Yeah.
Let's
is President Sunday left leaning? I didn't know that.
Psychopath, and I'm not. Okay. Somebody saying these things would be enough to deter me.
Thank you for another 10. I appreciate that.
Let's assume I publish this.
President Sunday talks with Nick. They both agree that going live without the victim's consent is a bad idea, and President Sunday does it anyway. Actual psycho.
Again, I thought he asked for consent. This is bizarre.
This was that Pixie was engaging in extortion against Destiny.
Fortunately, Pixie did the worst thing that someone in her position could do. Rather than seek legal recourse or make a public statement denouncing the violation of her consent and dignity that these leaks represented, she seems to have ultimately chosen to try and profit from the situation by extorting Destiny.
I don't understand how Pixie discussing what her next step is or what the correct
thank you for reading the goal.
Extortion.
We'll definitely Yippee has the bail money. Yeah, I'll send it off tonight. We'll send off the bail money and we'll get her out of jail. And we'll leave the cell for Destiny. Destiny ain't getting out of jail, but the Yippee definitely will. I'm gonna change from Comey. I can't play Comey. I don't know her kit very well. Not while I'm doing this. I need to be more brain dead. Very much appreciated, Sneaky. You're very awesome. But no, like that changes my entire framing of that video. Holy shit. I think the Yippee has legal representation too. Yes, she does. Anyway. Oh, we're 27 out of 38. Let's continue.
Because that's how most civil cases start. Destiny even says in his statement on Reddit that Pixie at no point made a specific or explicit request for compensation. So I asked President Sunday, did you talk to a lawyer, or is this just your layman interpretation of the law? Because let's be real, I don't think there's any way she gets charged for this. President Sunday says, yes, I spoke with lawyers I know. You know what their answer was? Obviously. I asked, can you link me to the statement from the lawyer you spoke with, saying these DMs count as extortion? And he says they were IRL conversations, so no. So I asked who the lawyer was because I would love to confirm this, and he replies, it's someone I know. Go find your own lawyer. It's so obvious to me that he's lying. You're telling me that you talked to a lawyer but didn't get any on-the-record statement for your video? Sure.
Can you verify the lawyer you talked to? No.
Confirm it even farther, President Sunday did a stream leaking all of our DMs. His editor Kilo came forward exposing that President Sunday never talked to a lawyer.
He claims he's consulted lawyers about this. Originally, he told me, Kilo, you're not a lawyer. I was raised by one and took law courses in university. But then when he was talking to Aiko, she asked if he spoke to lawyers, and he said, I spoke to people who know lawyers.
Who did you speak to?
Several people I can't name, but just trust me on this.
See, chat, unlike President Sunday, I actually do know a lawyer that passed the bar. Is the lolly elf representing the Yippee? Maybe. I'll ask her. I don't think she can professionally represent because she's not an attorney, but maybe she can offer some advice so that the Yippee can go in pro se. I don't know. This is sorry. I know I keep saying this is insane, but it is really insane. That he's like, oh yeah, I talk to people. Oh, who'd you talk to? I'm not gonna tell you who I talked to, but I did definitely talk to people. Is chat, do we think he talked to somebody? I don't. I definitely don't at all.
Lawyers.
People who know lawyers.
But then when he was talking,
that is such a lie. Oh my gosh. Holy shit. This guy just needs to admit, yes, I didn't talk to somebody. My dad works for Nintendo. Oops.
with Willie Mack, he said he spoke directly to lawyers, but won't mention who.
So Sunday is just lying to make the victim seem like a bad guy so he doesn't look insane for making his video.
Beckett of Krabs, myself, and President Sunday sat down to present evidence, put together a timeline, and establish what the mission of the project was. I was a little anxious, but also excited to learn what President Sunday had, and I wanted to find out what the justification was for coming out with the story, the nuke. But we started the meeting, and after only about 10 minutes, I interjected. Sunday didn't have a nuke. I'm not even sure Beckett had much of anything. And the only real reason for publishing that was given to me was that because Pixie was supposedly trying to extort Destiny, she was somehow implicated in the cover-up efforts by Destiny and his associates, and therefore had forsaken her right to privacy? Or something like that? I don't know.
Sunday does every stream in front of a wall of books, draws himself sitting on a pile of books. He's so knowledgeable, repeatedly calling me stupid in DMs for asking straightforward questions. Meanwhile, he's comfortable just making things up because he's above saying, I don't know, or I could be in the wrong. The dumbest people I talk to seem to think they're geniuses. Just a pattern I'm recognizing. He's lying about being an intellectual the same way he lied about talking to a lawyer. I'm not convinced he could read Dr. Seuss. He's malicious. He's acted like a psychopath. He outed a victim's story when she was working on the court case, slandered her.
An American citizen who finds themselves a victim of revenge pornography has several valid actions they can take. Let's go over 3. First, they can seek legal recourse. Second, they may make a public statement denouncing the person who leaked the materials and violated their consent.
Yes.
And in fact, this can be done in conjunction with the first option I mentioned. And finally, they can choose to do nothing. They can stay silent and hope that it all blows over. And this is their right. But Pixie did not do any of these.
She was in the middle of doing the first 2 things, and then you robbed her of the third. But yeah, keep acting like the good guy. He's the type of person I hope never becomes a...
Yeah, I hope that people don't take him seriously because, like, he didn't even reach out to her.
successful YouTuber. If you're a victim, why would you ever want to share your story? He's shown it's going to leak, then people you've never talked to are going to publicize it. You will be vilified by them because they don't care about you or your legal case at all. If I had any advice for Sunday, it would be to apologize to Pixie and the victims, not just post a pinned comment half backtracking what you're saying. Also shower, get a haircut, go outside. You aren't mature enough to cover these sort of things if you don't have basic hygiene. The video made by Sunday's former editor details the clown show that was this investigation. It's the most comedic tragedy I've ever watched.
With all due respect, I'm not sure you think you know what you're saying when you say you have to, because when you
I didn't say have to. I didn't say that. You said that. I said you have an expectation, and you said, well, I don't have to do that. And I'm not saying you have to do anything. I'm saying there's an expectation that you do this thing. When you're communicating with someone in private, they're expecting that you're not going to show that to other people without asking them first.
Okay, but if they're asleep, they're not expecting, are they?
If they're asleep.
What?
If they're asleep, yeah. If people are
What
asleep,
does that
they're not
have to do with
expecting
it?
anything. They're kind of just
Oh,
out, right?
Are you trolling me right now?
No, I'm actually making a serious point.
The conversations
That is not
he had with his
serious.
editor are psychotic.
Why the f are you adding extra risks to this? We're already in enough danger as is.
You think we're in danger? I don't think
we are in
anyone's
tremendous danger. So you don't think, for example, if you said something that was able to be effectively spun by someone like Nick to Oreo that managed to get some traction that cast aspersions on my entire channel, that income plummeted, so I can't pay you. That doesn't affect you?
It's about me, me, me. How does this affect Sunday? How can I manipulate my editor into staying quiet? I also talked to Beckett, who worked somewhat with Sunday and dropped his video on the same day. Now, his wasn't nearly as bad, but he still went forward with the video knowing only secondhand information. Really third hand because he's getting it from Sunday. Recognize you're getting your information secondhand. At any point, did you try to reach out to Pixie?
No. But to be clear, this was a very brief period, a couple of days. I clearly did want to reach out to people. There was actually a conversation where
Okay, how do you clearly reach out to somebody?
Because I don't know Pixie.
But why did you reach out to Lonerbox?
I didn't. But but that's partly because of what Loner had just done on the stream. I think that's a mistake, by the way. I'll own that mistake.
It's a pretty big mistake in my personal opinion.
To reach out to people. For instance, I went to FPS Diesel for an optics check on
Yeah,
the
I am
DMs,
feeling
and
Willie
thought
Mac
I
right
was
now.
Reaching out to Nick.
Nick and Diesel, no less than Beckett and Sunday. What does going to them do? Realize why I'm so critical, though, of you and Sunday? Because hold on, you're telling me, though, you're telling me, though, that this was done over a couple of days. You didn't bother to reach out to Lonerbox or Pixie, and you guys went for the story anyway. How did you even get the draft? Was that from Aaron, too?
Sorry, get the
draft of, like, Pixie's draft statement.
Yeah, I showed that in the DMs. Yeah.
So you guys have a draft from her. It seems like she's going to come out in some way because she has a fucking written draft. Like, it just seems, it blows my mind, man. Like, you've been somebody where I've been told over and over again, nah, dude, Copenseed is great. He does great videos, takes a lot of care with them. And it's like, to me, I look at this and I'm like, I cannot, it just seems like such a selfish story.
I'm with Willie here.
Let me be clear. I don't think selfish is that. I think I can take a lot of criticism. I think there are issues there. But I don't think selfish is that.
In what way is that not selfish?
I think it is selfish.
Well, because I didn't do this to get clout or money or like acclaim. I thought this was going to end my fucking channel.
Why
Sunday was going to release a video. I thought, I know Sunday, and I thought what needed to be done at the same time was painting a picture of what happened behind the scenes to explain why so many people had these DMs. What I needed was Sunday's DMs with Straighter Aid. I didn't expect this to be a video where I'd get like pats on the back.
Again, why you think it would damage you?
What, the video?
Yeah, before you made it.
Because I recognized that once these were coming out, the people who were releasing them would get rightfully a fair amount of criticism for doing so.
Then why
but
would
I
you
also
release it?
because, well, for some, I've said publicly as well. If Sunday wasn't
clout.
releasing his video,
I agree. It is clout. They put this out here as fast as, and I'm not going to put Smash on the same level as this. But the problem is that when people are concerned more with getting things out quickly and without efficiency on their mind first, this is what happens. This is why you don't just put something out like willy-nilly. You got to be careful, because if you're not careful, it leads to situations like this where you hurt victims and their potential legal case. There's a reason why she wasn't talking about it. There's a reason why she's not talking about it, and it's because of the fact that she's trying to sue him. Excuse me. And this makes it harder.
I wouldn't have released the same video. I probably wouldn't have acted in the same way. But Sunday looked at these. These are coming out. He wants to talk about it. Well, okay. It needs a companion piece.
So because he is jumping off of a bridge, you're doing it too, dude? Oh.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
Well, like, and again, that's what I'm saying. It's, you know, something I expected to do damage to me. But also, what was the other option? Lie about it?
No, the other option is to do what
hold
literally
on.
everybody else did, and you just wait, let everybody else shoot themselves in the foot if he's going to be reckless with the victim and her claims and hijack her story. Like, you realize she was talking to lawyers.
What did Smash do? He kind of reported on something that was fake. In my personal opinion, he could have done a little bit more verification. He says himself in his apology videos that he was trying to get it out fast because he wanted to jump ahead of potential announcement. And I feel like that kind of blinded him. But I don't necessarily care. That's just a mild criticism for him. That's why he's not on the same level, in my personal opinion. It's just a similar example.
During this, and they're gathering information. Crazy.
Listen, I'm on many levels. I'm with you. And I think one of my constant comments through this is, how does this reach me? I am like 5th person down the chain. How does this reach me with no one doing any of that?
It just makes me go, like, how were you the person to feel like you should make that video?
Because I thought it was such a fucking mess that at least I could make an uneditorialized.
Yours I don't think was as bad, but just the premise of this whole thing, when I talk to everybody, it's just...
I think it is a mess.
Beckett is the only person I
think
talked
it
to
is a
that
mess.
acknowledged wrongdoing and said he would go about things
Glad that he
differently in the
acknowledges
future.
that.
The takeaway seems to be what I think is the most important thing, and that's that you have to reach out.
At least he owned
to
it.
Pixie.
He does seem to have owned it. I hope he doesn't do it again.
Hey, this is what I know.
Stop trying to rush out videos. That's it.
I want to know, like, what's going on with this? Are you guys pursuing anything? And then they could go ahead and, like, give you the guidelines to it. Like, hey, look, we're talking legally. We'd rather this not come out.
Yeah, like, again, I'm not defending every part of this, and I don't want to. I mean, this is how I started the call, right?
Which is more than any other person I talked to. He became very critical of himself, especially as things moved off the record. I respect him for that.
When I met you, I admit my first thoughts was a trick. You look so good, huh? I suck on your daddy's dick.
Every day that passes, the drama gets more hilarious. Destiny and Hassan are watching each other's content nukes while refusing to view their own. I get he's going through a legal case, but at some point he needs to address that video. During my off-the-record conversation with Beckett, he asked me a pointed question. When would you associate with Destiny again? If he was part of some drama as a side character and I interviewed him, I would do it then, but I don't think I could just go hang on his podcast anymore. Destiny and I were not friends. However, I have a lot of respect for him. He's the only major creator in the political space that I have covered that actually looks stuff up, reads first-hand information, and directly engages with his critics. That may seem like a low bar, but it's rare. He's somebody that has always demanded accountability from others, but right now when he's objectively in the wrong, he's not taking any of it. He's calling Nick a hypocrite for saying innocent until proven guilty with Ethan, but not treating himself that way. Nick then makes very clear, you shared Pixie's intimate videos with a random 19-year-old OnlyFans model, and then posted logs where you admitted to severely damaging her, and he links the messages of Destiny doing just that. I'm the kind of person that could forgive anyone for about anything, but there needs to be remorse, and he's obviously not there yet. His coworkers cover for him saying he is, but I don't see it. I don't see how anyone could take him
Show us the remorse, and we can begin to move on. But I don't know.
Sunday's former editor Kilo, he actively tried to correct the record, and his video has very few views. He gave up money to try and do the right thing, and I think that should be acknowledged. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel.
Okay. That was about it for the video. You know what? I think Willie did a pretty decent job. I'll be honest, I wish he actually could talk to Destiny, but I don't think that Destiny is going to talk. Probably in his best interest if Destiny does not say anything, because right now, if he were to say something, it would probably fuck him 6 ways from Sunday. So I don't think that he is going to talk, basically, until this is over. Or if he does, he's kind of stupid, in my personal opinion. Kind of just stupid, in my personal opinion. But that was the Willie Mac content. I don't know if content nuke is the right word, but there's a Willie Mac video confronting Destiny on his crimes. Legitimate possible crimes, by the way. He's not been convicted of anything, but it is being... the woman is trying to sue him and bring forward that he did something, so... There is that. There is that. There is that. Hopefully the game isn't too loud, by the way. Not to be confused with President Sunday. 19 is old enough for OF, but not old enough to date an older person. Once you're 18, I don't care. There is some weirdness that comes with somebody that is uber old dating somebody who is just 18 or 19. But I don't really care. It's typically like that is a red flag that needs other red flags in order for me to think you're more weird. Personally, I'm tired of the leftist pause. Me too. Me too. Anyway, would you guys like to see Destiny get his ass handed to him by Mr. Metokur? I think you would. So this is the Destiny, Destiny side. I don't know how long it takes.
Because I'm not informed on all this shit. You're a Gamergator dude? You were the big Gamergator guy in the beginning? Somebody told me that?
Oh, so he just goes straight off?
Yeah, I haven't been in Gamergate since November.
Oh boy, so here we go, chat. Here we go. Here we're on the second part of the stream now, all right? We're on the second part of the stream. We've transitioned from listening to Willie Mac, and now we're just going to listen. If you are here just for the Willie Mac stuff, totally understood. You are more than welcome to jump out if you would like. However, we are now just going to review Mr. Metokur owning this man. And it's exciting. Let me turn on my fan first, though, because it is hot in here. And I'm melting to death. So yeah, if you don't want to stay, understood. I won't force you to stay, but we are going to listen to this. This is 2 hours. We're probably not going to get through all of it. Hopefully we get through a good, decent chunk of it. Excuse me. I don't even know if we'll need to have this up here. We'll shrink it down a little bit more. And if we need to, we can bring it up bigger. Gamergate, that's ancient lore. Ancient lore that's still being brought up today.
14, so it's been like 2 years.
Okay, somebody in chat said that, so I wasn't sure. You're Jim, right? You're the Jim?
You're the Jim.
The Jim.
He is the Jim.
So, to establish this at the very beginning, are you somebody that adamantly supports Trump, or are you indifferent to Trump and you hate Hillary?
Oh my gosh. Why would you ask that in the beginning? Jim is never... Well, I mean, like, he's slightly more political now, but I don't understand why he's got to... Oh, let me grab popcorn. I wish I had popcorn.
I didn't vote this election. I've been pretty clear. I know we don't know each other. I just kind of got drawn into this, but I didn't vote for him because I disagree with certain planks in his platform. I guess the certain policies that he has, certain outlooks on security and freedom of speech. So that's kind of why I didn't vote for him. But I do like him. He's a likable gentleman. So I would say that I like him more than the other candidates that were present during the election season, both in the Republican primaries and amongst the Democratic candidates.
Okay, so then what exactly are we arguing about?
I have no fucking idea. Somebody messaged me on Twitter, said you wanted a debate, and then you sent and asked for my Skype address or username, so I got pulled in here. I don't know what the fuck we're debating.
Okay, why do you like the Trumpster?
Well, I hear he has a giant fucking cock. That's one thing I've been told, and I love a man with a big dick.
All right.
And I also like the fact that he speaks his mind. That's...
Oh, I don't know if I've ever heard that clipped out there. Holy shit. That's beautiful.
Refreshing to me that there's not a lot of PR in between him and his thoughts.
Do you think it's admirable to speak your mind if everything on your mind is fucking stupid? Do you think that's an admirable trait?
Is everything on his mind fucking stupid? I'm not a telepath. I don't know.
Everything that I've heard him say is pretty dumb. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a telepath.
About everything that he said, you just said everything on his mind. So are you certain everything this man thinks is stupid?
You said that you like somebody that always speaks what's on their mind. So I'm assuming that he's speaking his mind because he doesn't have the PR shield up. So I asked, do you think that it's good if everything on his mind is stupid, implying that everything he said is stupid? I'm sorry if semantically that wasn't perfect, but my implication was that everything he has said is really dumb. So I don't know why it's admirable that he doesn't have a filter if everything that comes out of his mouth seems to be really stupid.
So you like lobbying and politics?
Every other Jim needs to change their name so we only have the Jim. I know a family member whose name is Jim. I don't know if he'd be okay with that.
I don't like lobbying, but I don't like lobbyists either. Do you like lobbyists in politics?
No, I don't.
Then why do you like Trump when he's lobbied for politics his entire life?
That's a great question, but I'd like you to follow up with me first because you're saying everything he said is stupid, and I asked you, do you like lobbyists? And you said no. Well, he has said this, that he wants to get rid of lobbying in politics. So you've kind of contradicted yourself. We're in like 1 minute and you've already contradicted yourself.
Well, he said like 2 or 3 kind of intelligent things, but every action that he's done to the contrary has made me question. He also said he would never take donations for his campaign and he would fund it all himself. And he walked back on that as well. He also said he would drain the swamp in Washington and nominated a bunch of fucking lobbyists to move into some of these cabinet positions and whatnot. So I don't actually know if he actually got rid of all lobbying from Congress.
Who did he nominate?
I didn't see exactly who. And I heard people like Newt Gingrich and whatnot for like State Department positions, and people like Giuliani and shit. He was looking at Romney, I think, for Secretary of State.
Is this old? No, this is 8 years old.
Are we talking about looking at and rumored and suspected by sources listed in the media? Or are we talking about something that Trump himself said, these are the people that I'm considering, these are the people that are going to be competing for the job? Because I haven't heard any statement from him really about, I'm going to put these people in the cabinet positions. I haven't seen that. I've heard I've read a lot of articles about people talking about rumors and speculation of who's being looked at, that he's meeting with so-and-so and that they're having a 1-hour lunch or they're having a 2-hour meeting. But I haven't heard Trump himself come out and say, yeah, these are the people that I want to put in positions.
Trump himself has defended it. He had a 60 Minutes interview, the first interview that he gave after becoming president-elect, where the interviewer called him out for nominating a bunch of lobbyists to fill these positions. And his defense was, well, everybody out here is lobbyists. What am I supposed to do?
Right. But again, who are these people we're talking about?
Lobbyists? The same people that he said that he didn't want in government?
What names?
Yeah, what I'm saying is, if you're so convinced that they're lobbyists, give me their names. Who are we talking about?
I don't know the exact names, but he said they were lobbyists.
Oh my God. Okay. This is something that I try not to do. I sometimes kind of suck at it, but you cannot just say, oh, he hires these kind of bad people. Okay, who are they? Well, I don't know their names. I just know they're bad people. You can't do that because then I don't agree. I try not to do that because that's a very embarrassing thing to do. You can't just say something unless you actually have names on hand. That's really bad. That's really bad.
Lobbyists in. Why does the exact name matter? Trump
maybe it's an off-the-cuff remark talking about how corrupt Washington is. Everybody out here's lobbyists. I don't know. I didn't watch the interview.
Okay.
Can you give me the whole quote?
Let's see if I can find it. Hold on.
Please do not bring up stuff if you don't know it. You can't. I mean, you don't have to bring it up offhand, but like, Destiny, please quote your shit better.
So let's go through very quick.
All right, this video is 1 minute and 10 seconds long. I'm guessing this is it because this looks like the interview.
Some of the promises you made. Tell us if you're going to do what you said or you're going to change it in any way. Are you really going to build a wall?
Yes.
They're talking about a fence in the Republican Congress. Would you accept a fence?
Is this bleeding through, or do you want me to mute my mic for you?
No, I can hear you. It's fine. It's not bleeding through.
In areas I would, but certain areas the wall is more appropriate. I'm very good at this. This is called construction. But
so part wall, part fence?
Yeah, it could be. There could be some fencing.
Jim still came on top. Yes.
What about the pledge to deport millions and millions of undocumented immigrants?
What we are going to do is get the people that are criminal and have criminal records, gang members, drug dealers. We have a lot of these people, probably 2 million, it could even be 3 million. We're getting them out of our country or we're going to incarcerate. But we're getting them out of our country. They're here illegally. After the border is secured and after everything gets normalized, we're going to make a determination on the people that you're talking about, who are terrific people. They're terrific people. But we're going to make a determination at that. But before we make that determination, Leslie, it's very...
No, hold on. This isn't the correct video. I gotta try to find it now in the fucking 60 Minutes interview. Here's a Reddit post that goes through all of the people in his transition team and the different connections and links that they have, I guess, that some people might call these people lobbyists.
Okay. All right, give me 1 second here. Let me just pull this up.
Destiny, to be like, Hirsch, I have a table for that.
I'm not a Redditor, so you're going to have to give me a minute to kind of sort through
Yeah,
this
that's
shit.
fine. It's just in the comment. I'm not used to people challenging this assertion because it seems to be generally accepted as true, but I mean, I can try to find the specific 60 Minutes quote if you...
He's not used to having to provide his sources.
Does anybody know the 60 Minutes thing that we listened to on stream where I don't remember which interview it was. I'm pretty sure it was a 60 Minutes interview.
Again, you can't bring up this shit if you're not willing to already know what you're going to bring up because it makes you look bad. Oh.
Yeah, I'm reading through it right now. Is it the top post I'm going to be looking at here, or where would I?
Yeah, it should have linked you to a post that's all in yellow.
Oh, it's the direct one. I got you. Okay.
He definitely didn't watch the video he's sourcing. Probably not. I don't know.
Okay, it's talking a lot about Robert Mercer. Turns out Kellyanne Conway is heavily connected to the same people Steve Bannon is connected to. Robert Mercer, and the Trump campaign was essentially ran by two people who worked for Mercer. I looked into this yesterday. Here's a large part of why Steve Bannon ran Trump's campaign and is now in Trump's White House. So it seems the assertion, at least from this post that I'm getting, is this is Bannon's connection to lobbyists or his interest in, I don't know, personal or furthering his own personal wealth or his own power, lobbying for his own interests. And that's what they're talking about when we're saying that there are all these lobbyists that have been named to cabinet positions. We're talking about Steve Bannon.
I mean, there's also been a lot of talk of other people. I guess Trump himself hasn't come out and exactly said that I'm putting Giuliani or Newt Gingrich or any of these people in, but there's been a lot of talk that those are people being considered. I don't know if it's normal that a presidential candidate would come out and say, like, oh, well, this is absolutely going to be the guy. Hold on, give me 1 second to see if this is the correct, like, 1 sec.
Said that lobbyists own politicians because they give them money. You admitted you used to do it yourself. You have a
when you say
transition
lobbyists and special interests.
Okay, I think this is the clip that I was looking for before.
Okay, give me 1 second here. Let me pull it up.
That's the thing about Destiny is people don't usually push him to put proof on the table, and every time it happened, he looked stupid. I mean, yeah, this is pretty bad, Destiny. I mean, it doesn't really matter no more, but this is pretty bad.
You said that lobbyists own politicians because they give them money. You admitted you used to do it yourself. You have a
when you say
transition team.
lobbyists and special interests.
And you want to get rid of all of that.
I don't like it, no.
You don't like it. But your own transition team is filled with lobbyists.
It's the only people you have down there.
You have
All
lobbyists from Verizon. You have lobbyists
Not a good excuse in my personal opinion, but it was his first term.
the oil, gas industry, you have food lobby.
Everybody's a lobbyist down there. That's what they are. They're lobbyists. They're special
on your own
interests.
transition
We're trying
team.
to clean up Washington. Look,
how can you clean
everything down there? There are no people. They're all people that work. That's the problem with the system. The system. Right now, we're going to clean it up. We're having restrictions on foreign money coming in. We're going to.
I think around 10:20, you're pretty much done with it.
Okay.
So it kind of sounds like he has like an excuse there to defend the lobbyists, but I mean, like I mean, I guess like looking at it from a neutral third party, you could see how that kind of sounds kind of bad for a guy that promised that he was removing lobbying from Washington. That now he has an excuse for why he's working with a bunch of lobbyists. Right? You see how that looks a little bad, maybe?
No, I don't disagree with you. But again, it seems like a comment more to the nature of what Washington is like now. I mean, this is his transition team we're talking about. These aren't people that are going to be sitting as Secretary of State or Defense. These are people that are basically moving him into the White House and helping him sort through the transition into it.
Sure, you know, I understand what you're saying, but like to point, I'm sure that you didn't like Bernie Sanders, but we can agree that Bernie Sanders was also somebody who was big against lobbying. Do you think that as much as he pushed that point, do you think that if on Bernie's transition team, do you think that you would find lobbyists from all of these companies? I feel like that would be pretty hard to believe based on his voting record and everything that he said during the debates and the way that he's conducted himself.
I don't know. He's
Computer
on
might
like
freeze a
summer
little bit,
home number
chat.
4. You might have found about 20 or 30 lobbyists on his transition team, to be honest with you.
Because he has a
FOIA
couple summer homes?
Yeah, because he has a lot of summer homes and Audis. Yeah.
And
Because,
Audis too?
Yeah, he does.
Do you have like real links to like non-Breitbart links?
Wait,
to all
is he
this
talking about
massive-
how Bernie is like a whole bunch of this other shit? That's Bernie. That's statement age. No, yeah, like I don't think. I think back then people didn't pay attention that much, but Bernie has been found out, especially recently, how much shit he has. Did not age well with Bernie. Yeah. Kind of sad to some people. Not me. I don't care.
amount of wealth? I'm pretty sure he released his taxes and his net worth was like a pretty modest sum. I don't think it was anything extreme.
What was the modest sum? What was the modest sum that he had as a net worth?
I don't even think it. I don't think it was. Was it even $1 million?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
I thought it was less than that. I know that they were released and nobody even made a big deal about it.
Because nobody cares.
I know that Hillary was like around 40 million. Was it $450,000? That sounds like some figure around in there is about what I heard. Also, I don't know why you would need a lobbyist to buy an Audi.
I don't know. That's just how he rolls.
Yeah, but what is that?
That's a play on words there. You get it? That's just how he rolls. We're talking about cars.
Okay. So I guess all I'm trying to say is that Trump has said a couple of things that I agree with, like fundamentally, but when you look at how he actually acts, I have a hard time believing that he's actually going to carry those things out. Again, whether you hate him
Doesn't
or
Bernie
like
own
him or
yachts?
not, and
I have
there
no
are very
idea.
legitimate arguments for why you would hate all of his policies, and I totally accept that. I don't think that Bernie's transition team would be filled with lobbyists because of how hard he ran on that issue. So I feel like seeing Trump
I
walk
disagree.
back on a lot of these things that he said kind of hurts his credibility. He did the same thing with the ACA. He said that he likes the pre-existing conditions, and he said that he's probably not going to repeal all of it. He did the same thing with the wall. He said he's probably not going to have a wall. Maybe a fence is okay in some areas. Like, it seems like he's now he's talking about repealing Dodd-Frank. I thought, like, I don't understand. I guess it's hard to figure out, like, what exactly is he going to do. And then during the debates, he did the same, where he would say an outrageous statement, and then the next day he would walk back on it. So even of, like, the couple of things he said that maybe are good, it's hard to tell. You have to just go by the few actions that you have to judge him on, you know?
Okay. So it seems that you dislike Trump.
A lot, yes.
Okay. And again, I don't know you, so I don't know what your political
That much is very true.
standings are, or what your opinions on any of these people are. What is it exactly about Trump, aside from the thing where you said that you think a lot of what he says is stupid and he walks back on a lot of his policies?
That's my biggest point. I think he's an idiot. I really do.
I think we are all in agreement
so for instance,
there.
like the comments he's made about global warming being a hoax pushed to us by China, that vaccines cause autism. That,
Oh,
like, all
gosh,
the
please
comments-
don't
the
demonetize
comments
this
he's made about
stream.
NATO. Like, I think that the taking oil from other countries and them being okay with it. I feel like a lot of the comments that he said, bringing back manufacturing from these third world countries, like, I don't understand it. A lot of what he says just kind of reeks of stupidity to me. Like, nothing sounds thought out. He doesn't sound informed or knowledgeable on any issue that he talks about. And a lot of the shit, and that's not going into more of the offensive shit that he said. That's just going by policy discussions that he's had.
Okay. And so that's your main issue with him. Is there anything else, I guess, that you dislike about him as a candidate?
I think he's pretty bigoted. I think that you could make an argument for pretty racially charged things that he's said and done. I don't think that he represents what America is supposed to represent in terms of accepting people and being a melting pot and all that shit. I'm not a big fan of, like, the white nationalism, whatever fucking shit that goes on. But I think that might be a sub point to that, but go ahead.
All right. Yeah, because I'm just trying to get an idea of where you kind of sit here and what we're going to be talking about.
By the way, I haven't commented on
Start
this
with the last
yet.
and work our way up to the first. So when you're talking about the white nationalist
Oh
shit,
fuck!
I
I need
heard
I need the game to
Trump
load
say
so I
that
can
he's
pull it up.
pro-white
But
nationalist.
like,
In fact, if I remember right, his son that said that one of his sons.
this
I don't know which one it was,
this
but-
is Destiny's setup. By the way, this is how Destiny set up this stream. This is really I don't really like this a whole lot because he's like right down here. Then he's got his whole chat right here. I don't understand why he did this. It looks really weird. I don't know. I just don't like it. I just don't like it, chat.
But said David Duke should get a bullet in his head.
Yeah, sure. I don't think he's come out and specifically said I'm a white or I don't think he's even made an implication that he's a white nationalist. But he said a lot of things that make you kind of wonder. Things like bringing back racial profiling, things like being in favor of stop and frisk, being in favor of like the Papers, Please stuff going on in Arizona. Banning all Muslim immigrants from whatever countries. The comments that he made about Mexicans, the comments that he made about the federal judge who has parents that are Mexicans. Like there are only so many of these statements that you can make before you have to wonder, like, I don't know, it seems a little bit malicious. I'm not sure.
Malicious. Okay, you don't think that he sees these issues as threats or issues that are of national importance, and that's why he's addressing them rather than some preconceived notion that whites are just superior and that other races or minorities should be suppressed?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
This is
It
a
could go
deep
that deep or not. I'm really
conversation.
not concerned with that, whether or not he does have those personal opinions. I'm just going by the statements that he's made. I feel reverberate with a lot of people that would have those feelings.
Well, I mean, if they resonate, they might resonate for a different reason. If I say we need a border security wall, I might be saying it because we've got people smuggling drugs or guns. I mean, this is a hypothetical country, but because we have some need for a border wall, whereas somebody who hears that and is some massive white nationalist thinks, that's right, those goddamn spics, they need to be kept out. That doesn't mean that the reason I brought up wanting a border security wall had anything to do with the people living south of it.
And if Trump's statements were, I think we need to increase our security on the border, it's a big risk for terrorism, and we need to worry about things like drugs and crime coming, like that would be one thing. But the way that he's made his statements have just made me so
The fat
uncomfortable.
Harry
Like,
Potter.
when Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're sending rapists and murderers, and some of them are good people, I think. Like, statements like that, I don't know, they just feel a little bit wrong, and it seems to belie why a lot of the people that do illegally immigrate do it. Like, not everybody that does it just because they want to come and be a criminal and whatnot. Not to mention the fact that like 40% of illegal immigrants in the United States overstay visas anyway, and people can get here by water and plane, and they travel here via vehicles as well. I don't even know if the border would do anything. But that's a separate point. I guess it's just like, I do think that there are legitimate arguments that you could make for border security, but the way that he's done it, I guess is...
when we're talking about like Trump saying something like they're not sending their best, well, their best would be people who legally immigrate here, wouldn't they? I mean, we're talking about a criminal element. They are illegally here.
Destiny's arguing against
when Trump
himself.
is saying
Kind
they're
of,
not
yeah.
sending their best, I think you can agree the implication there is that a lot of them are criminals, right? I think that's the implication.
But my point is they are criminals.
There are some.
We're talking about illegal immigrants. He didn't say I want to get rid of legal immigrants, did he? He didn't say I'm going to flush the country of every Mexican that's
Okay,
ever
but
come.
that's not. But the implication wasn't that they're criminals because they're illegally immigrating. The implication is that they are rapists, murderers, and thieves, because those are the exact words that he said. Not that these are criminals just because they've crossed the border and they're criminals, but they're.
You know what's funny is 4 years ago that it wasn't as big of a deal. Nowadays, yeah, you can definitely use that language, unfortunately. And I hate that I have to say that because it's not really what you want to have to say.
Probably have a criminal element. They probably are criminally motivated.
Do you
because they're
think
not
that? Do
coming
you
here
think
for the
that's
proper
true?
channels.
Do you think that it's easy to immigrate easily to the United States through those waiting lists? Some of those are up to 10 years long.
Who said life was easy? Wait, no, we're having a discussion. I mean, your counterpoint to that is, well, geez, if it was just easier, they'd be legal. Well, yeah, fuck. If it was 1 day long, all of them would be legal, wouldn't it? You know, we're talking about people who didn't want to go through the process that other people who legally immigrated here have gone through. They decided, they took it upon themselves to say, I'm going to come to this nation, and I'm going to say, fuck it. I'm not going to obey the laws that the other people who want to come here have done.
Okay.
And I'm just going to do it my own way because I don't
Somebody think about
believe
the
in your
children.
authority. I don't think you're doing it right. That's not the best way to start off your new nationality, is it?
So then can I go up to the Rust Belt and all of those people that cried and bitched and voted for Trump because they wanted to bring back manufacturing jobs? Can I go and say to all of those guys, you lost your job? Why didn't you get another fucking job? Why didn't you go and train for a different, career? And they go, dude, that's how retraining for a whole different job when I've done this for 30, 40 years? That's really difficult. And then I could go, who's supposed to say life is easy? I don't think that's a legitimate argument. I think that shows like a severe...
I have no problem with you saying that to them.
Okay. I guess for me personally, I consider myself to be relatively compassionate, even if I, go full savage.
But I'm also realistic. Life is not fair. It is a difficult thing. If you want to get by in life, you should at least adhere to the rules of the place that you're going to be going into.
Okay, sure. But when you talk about families that are coming across the border because the living situation in Mexico is fucked, people that are risking rape or murder or thievery coming over, right? Because there are very real risks to illegally immigrating. It's not necessarily that easy, especially depending on where you come out of. People that just want a better life for their families or a better life for their children, calling these people criminals, I feel like is a little bit cruel. Obviously it sucks and obviously it's bad and we need to do something about it, but labeling all of these people as rapists and murderers and criminals, it seems to betray like any amount of empathy you might have. Like, I don't know, that I would have a very difficult time making that statement.
I have no idea what the statistics are for the people coming across, whether they're 10 years old, whether the majority of people we're talking about are all 10-year-olds, whether they're 50-year-olds. What kind of immigration are we talking? You're painting this picture of these beautiful families of all these little children that are being led by their mothers across deserts. I have no idea what they look like. I have no idea what age group specifically they are.
Okay, but you're really quick to label all of them as thieves and rapists, so why?
No, I was quick to label them as criminals. You can back it up and listen.
He's relatively compassionate, the man that mocked a firefighter that was murdered. Oh, no, yeah. Very funny. That's the man who's saying that we need to be more passionate against illegal people. No, 100%. That's why it's a little confusing.
Into it, which is exactly what I said. They came here illegally. They are criminals. They are not obeying the law.
Yeah, but then when I said that not everybody coming over here is coming over here to rape and murder people, you said, well, I don't know, maybe they are. They didn't come here legally. I'm pretty sure those were your exact words. You said that was a possibility. But now when I say they're not all...
No, yeah, it absolutely is a possibility. If you're going to break the law once, what's going to prohibit you from doing it again? You're already not beholden to the law of the land.
So if you're walking out of a store because you
that is a decent
argument
that I've heard
because
before.
you shoplifted once, maybe you'll go and rape somebody again? That's an absurd statement.
Are they a legal citizen here with rights and protections?
I don't think that crossing the border legally is like comparable to shoplifting.
But your argument is just because somebody is...
No. We're having a conversation about law applied to citizens of the United States and law applied to foreigners, illegal immigrants. So keep it in that context. We're talking about illegal immigrants. Can I go to whatever fucking country I want and behave in any manner I want and then expect them to respect me because, oh, it's too tough to
It's not about expecting somebody to respect you. It's about you saying that because they came over here illegally and broke one law, maybe they'll just go and murder a bunch of people. That's not how a lot of these people work. A lot of them come over here just to work jobs. Not to come over here and murder and shoot people just because they broke one law. They figure nothing else matters.
What I'm saying, okay. They have already...
Side note, I have seen plenty of porn of this woman, and I don't understand why. I don't know why people have taken a liking to her so much, but I have seen some images of this woman. Actually, you know what? She's a redhead. I totally get it.
Demonstrated by coming here illegally that they have no problem with criminality because they broke the law the second they came here without going through the proper channels. It is not unfair to assume then that, well, you know, if they're not going to respect the basic process of even getting in here in the first place, why would they respect anything else? If they're not going to respect coming through the border, if they're not going to respect going through the entire process that people who come here legally do, why would they, you know, not rob? Why would they not murder? Why would they not rape? That's a fair argument to bring up.
That's not. That's an absurd argument because you make it.
No, it's not an absurd argument.
It is because you're making it sound like there's some arbitrary, or not arbitrary. There's some definitive line that you cross. Like some guy is coming across the border. I'm gonna go get a job and work and ship money back to my family because my kids live in some fucked up area. And now that I come here and got a job, well, fuck, I just broke the law crossing the border, dude. I should just fucking kill someone. That's an absolutely insane argument to make, that just because they've broken the law of coming into the state, like, that's so stupid. Like, I speed sometimes. Does that mean that I'm about to throw my car off the side of the road drunk driving because I'm willing to break some traffic laws? I'll break all of them? You're acting like there's no degree of difference between committing a crime, like one crime is equal to all crimes, and that every person sees it that way. That's insane.
I'm sure I'm saying that they already have a disposition to breaking the law, which they do because they broke it coming here.
Okay, and somebody driving their pregnant wife to the hospital when she's delivering has a disposition to breaking laws about speed limits. But that doesn't mean that they're going to break every single law along the way. I feel like you don't understand the motivations of why they would come over or why they would act the way that they do by saying that.
What's their motivation? Then let's talk.
A lot of people come over just to work. A lot of people come over to work.
Okay, so a lot of people just come here to work. Where are you getting that from?
How about the fact that all the Trump supporters say they're tired of illegal immigrants coming over and stealing our jobs?
I don't give a shit about what Trump supporters say. I'm asking you, where are you getting the notion that the people that illegally immigrate here come here just to work because they have families they need to support desperately in their host country?
I can't source every single, like, super well-accepted common source claim. Like, dude, there are 13 million illegal immigrants in the United States. There are plenty of people that complain about...
common source.
If you can't prove it, you probably shouldn't talk about it then, Destiny. Because... I don't know. I don't like it when people bring up arguments and then they're just like, "Oh, I can't back it up." Because again, I kind of hate it when I do that, so I try not to. He just sounds so fucking dumb, trying to talk about it like this. Oh. Naturally, Destiny argues it's okay to break the laws if you don't like them. Yeah, pretty much.
You should have no problem.
Okay, how many jobs held by illegal immigrants, United States? Dude, people on the right complain all the time that Americans are losing jobs to illegal immigrants.
Who said I'm in the right?
I don't know. But people that generally supported Trump generally make this assertion that illegal, and I'm pretty sure that Trump has made this assertion that illegal immigrants come over here and steal jobs. Here's one link. I don't know if this is credible or not. I don't know. This is from fairus.org for immigration reform. Oh, so these people sound like they would be. So these are jobs.
If you can't source, why are you using it as argument? Exactly. There's a reason why there's specific things that I'm not willing to talk about because I'm not ready to use them as arguments. There's a lot of people that I would be okay with just like talking about. Can't do that because I don't have the argument for it. So you just can't do that. I mean, you can do it. You just sound like a fucking asshole. So,
jobs lost in California, 2 million jobs taken by illegal immigrants. I mean, I don't know. We can go through, like, I know this is true because I hear this asserted all the time. Like,
Jim saying he didn't vote for Trump. What's the point?
I don't know. Like,
yeah, it says the majority that come here work in low-skilled jobs, but that doesn't speak to their motivation to purely coming here, does it?
Do you think a rapist or a murderer is coming to the United States with the aspiration of being a low-skilled worker?
Some of them do.
You have to make enough money to buy a gun. Like, what do you mean, dude?
I have no idea. Maybe there are millions of Americans like you, Destiny, who think, well, shit, they obviously wouldn't come here to rape. So, I mean,
I'm sure there are some that do.
If I was a rapist and I'm looking for a country to go to, and there were people like you there that thought the only reason I'm crossing the border is to get a good job to support my wife and kid, you're fucking right. I'd go to your country.
I'm sure that there are people that come across and commit crimes, but I'm challenging your initial assertion that because somebody is willing to break one crime, they're willing to break one law. They're going to break all laws. That's an insanely ridiculous assertion.
But they're not American citizens.
Who cares? That doesn't make you a murderer or a rapist.
This is
Oh my gosh, I feel so bad.
People coming in using a.
Amal, thank you for the raid a couple of minutes ago. I am so sorry that I missed it. I feel like such an asshole right now. Thank you so much. I hope you're still in chat. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a good one. I hope you enjoy, by the way. We're listening to Destiny fight with Jim Metokur. One of the best things ever. Does Destiny think a rapist or a murderer doesn't need money to buy food or eat and thus still needs a job? I don't know what he thinks. But, like, legitimately, it doesn't take it's not out of the realm of possibilities to think that, like, somebody that wants to commit crime will probably try to lay low until they can get what they want. Sometimes that's the case. Sometimes, yeah, people are just gonna go fucking stupid. But, like, I don't get it, Destiny. I really don't. Give me one moment, chat. I will be right back. I need to grab something. And then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna continue.
A garden requires patience as much as water and sunlight. The edges mustn't curl and turn brown like that.
Yippee. You know it, chat. We're only 24 minutes in. Oh, chat, we're not going to go through this. We're going to listen for another 30 minutes, and then I'm going to bed. Because I'm tired. Let's see. We've been going for almost 2.5 hours. Once we hit 3 hours, I'm going to bed. Because... my apologies. I am beat from today, chat. I'm really beat, so we're going to bed after. Did I hear the Bruce back? I'm going to bed in 30 minutes, chat, because I'm exhausted. But we'll continue listening to this another time. I think I do enjoy listening to some of the Jim Metokur streams. They provide a lot of... they provide a lot to talk about, which is why I like listening to them. Anyway, let's continue.
System, or not using a system, excuse me, they're not even coming through the legal means. They're coming illegally into here. And then to say that Trump is so off base by saying it's criminality, it is.
He's not saying, you're changing it up so hard. Trump is not saying it's criminal to illegally immigrate. Nobody would disagree with that statement, or maybe some extreme lefties would disagree with that statement.
A lot of people today would disagree with that statement.
Implying that the vast majority of Mexicans that come over here are coming here to rape and murder and steal. Not that they're coming over here to commit crimes, the crime of illegal immigration. It's tautology. Like, what? No one, obviously that's... You're a criminal if you break the law by coming into a country illegally, but just because you come into a country illegally doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden about to go on a fucking rape spree, because now that you broke one law, you can break all of them. That's the only assertion I'm challenging. I feel like we can agree that that's a little bit of a ridiculous assertion. I won't hold it against you if you back off that assertion. Like,
I'm not going to back off any assertion.
Am, are you okay?
I'm saying you've got two groups of people. One coming here legally, I would say isn't predisposed to
Where's she walking? I don't know. That's a good question.
The other that came illegally obviously doesn't respect the law of the land. What guarantee do I have that they're going to respect any other laws? I don't know them. I'm not a fucking telepath. I can't read their minds and
there she
know their
goes.
souls, but I can be a little bit fucking skeptical, and I can say we need to deal with the illegal immigration problem because we have a shitload of criminals, illegal immigrants in this country, and this needs to be dealt with. We need to build some kind of a barrier or create a better system or have a better or tweak a system already existing to work better to deal with this, because we don't have a handle on who the hell is coming in here.
Okay, I don't disagree with anything you've said. Border security is a real issue. What we're talking about is the way that you address the border security can make it be, it's a little bit uncomfortable depending on who you're talking to. Again, there is nothing wrong with the statement. Our border is very porous to the south. A lot of people are coming in. They could be bad people. We need to deal with it. There's nothing wrong with that statement. But when you make the statement, when Mexico sends its citizens, they're not sending their best. They're sending rapists, murderers, thieves, and some of them are good people, I imagine, that kind of a statement might rub some people a little bit wrong. You don't see how that kind of a statement could maybe look a little bit kind of bad?
Well, anything can look bad from a subjective viewpoint, yeah. It's good. Anything can rub somebody wrong. Yeah, sure. If he'd said it the reverse, would you have liked it better? If he had said, we need better border security, we need more resources, we need to allocate, we need to get a handle on this illegal immigration problem, because they're sending us good people, but there's some bad eggs in there. Would you have liked the reverse better? I mean, he's still talking about doing the same thing, isn't he?
No, not at all. I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe you're not like a big fan of like the English language. I don't understand. Like, there are massive differences in the way that you address these things. Like the way that you phrase things to people can show like what your inner intentions are. Like,
you're reading in, you're interpreting his
I'm not interpreting anything. I don't have to interpret anything he says.
You just said earlier when we started this conversation that, oh, well, you know, you talked about Trump and white nationalism. I asked you, has he ever come out with a white nationalist statement? You said, no, but...
No, I said I wasn't a fan of white nationalism, that a lot of the shit that he said is bigoted against other races, and that statement reverberates with white nationalist people. Like...
Right. So you're thinking that Trump said this because he then, has an issue with Mexicans?
I don't know. I just have to go by what he says. Maybe or maybe not, but I know
maybe he does.
Reverberates with a lot of people that do. And
but the Mexicans love him.
Very fucking horrible. Like, the Mexican judge statements are the same thing. If Trump would have gone on, I don't remember I don't remember who he was on with, when he was talking to the one dude about the federal judge. If Trump would have said, I don't think that this judge is capable.
I'm definitely going the long way around,
because his parents are involved with organizations that are very pro-Mexico, and the fact that I am, planning to deal with the border security and whatnot might make him biased against me. That statement is perfectly acceptable, and you cannot attack that. That's a totally valid argument. Or, I mean, you could argue against it, but that's totally valid. But that's not what he said. What he said was, I don't know if anybody with Mexican parents can give me a fair ruling. Do you not see how these statements are entirely separate statements and carry entirely different meanings?
I attended to the Chinese chomping cabbages, Professor.
Or do those statements just sound like two of the same to you?
Well, what I'm trying to source through here as we talk about this, because we're going through his different policies, we're going through his different approaches and the things that he said, is, do you disagree with what he's putting up, or are you disagreeing with the way he's saying it because of the way it's interpreted?
He makes me uncomfortable. He's racist, Destiny.
I mean, like, do we live in a pretend world where you can just say anything and then people are expected to extract exactly what you meant out of it? Like, I don't understand. Like, that's not how the world works. That's not how any position, any job in any company ever, in any company, in any public office, in any family position, in a position with a relationship, you can't get away with saying something and phrasing it like an idiot.
You absolutely can.
No, you can't.
Heading out, not too much into politics. Hey, that's totally fine. The only reason we're listening to this is because of Metokur and Destiny. That's it. That's it.
You can't say that I can't criticize Trump for his statements.
And right now, it's really funny to listen to.
You're taking him one way.
I never said you couldn't criticize him. I'm just disagreeing with the way that you're criticizing. That's all. I didn't say you can't do it. I'm not fucking holding a gun to your head here.
Okay. I mean, I like to take people's statements at face value to figure out like what exactly they're meaning, and I don't like to. I don't know. I feel like trying to give somebody hardcore the benefit of the doubt and shoehorn them into my own personal beliefs because what they said can kind of be molded to it. I feel like that's a little bit like intellectually dishonest. So I try to take people at face value. I don't know. When somebody makes a statement, Mexico is sending when Mexico's sending people, they're not sending their best. They're sending rapists, murderers, thieves, and some of them are good people, I imagine. I feel like there's a pretty obvious way to take that statement, and then I feel like you can bend it and stretch it into like, well, he didn't mean that like a lot of Mexicans are rapists and stuff. He just meant that we needed to work on border security. Like, then why couldn't he just say that we need to work on border security?
Because he's Donald Trump.
Okay. Well, I mean, even looking at the statement of they're not sending their best, he's referring to illegal immigration, right? I mean, that's what we're talking about, obviously. Do you think that the illegal immigrants that came here are the best? Do you think it's made up of nothing but Olympians and
no, of course not.
People with 4-point GPAs and people that worked as executives at major companies and just all these talented, skilled individuals? Do you think when he says they're not sending us their best, that's not a fair statement?
No. No. I agree. They're not sending their best, and that on its own is a fine statement. A little bit crass, but that's an okay statement. But when you go a step further and you say that they're sending rapists and murderers and thieves, do you not see how that's like a step further into that?
But have there been illegal immigrants that came here and killed and raped and stole?
Sure, but you're making it sound like that's the majority of immigrants that are coming over.
He's literally stretching what he said. Yeah.
Well, that's how you read his
Just
comment,
a little bit.
yeah.
Because that's how his comment sounded in the English language.
I'm taking into account, I guess, kind of how Trump phrases things and how he talks bigly. Trump's kind of got a bizarre way of fucking speaking. So I guess I filter it through that lens.
Okay, do you understand the issues then when his supporters will filter every stupid thing he says into being something intelligent, but then when the opposite does it, everything they say is taken at face value and even is extrapolated into further insanity? Like,
Okay, that sounds more like his supporters being retards. It doesn't sound like him being an issue.
We can just agree to disagree. I can't touch you there. If you, like the faith argument.
that's not a Trump thing. That's his supporters are stupid, and we can rail on supporters because yeah, some of them are stupid. Well, thank you for the 5. Typical Destiny. Read in autistic detail everything you perceived enemy says. Look for any context for foul play and downplay his group's rhetoric. Yeah. No, like legitimately. I think that he reads way too much. Was reading way too much into what Trump said. I don't know. I interpret that as how Jim Metokur interprets it. Sounds like projection. It might be. I don't know. I just feel that this is unnecessary. All you need to say is, "Oh, I think so." Like from what it sounds like. Excuse me. He is trying to say that Trump supporters need to, like, be spoken to like they're idiots. Where's my mouse? There it is. Because they are idiots. That is what he is basically saying, is they are idiots, so we must speak to them like they're idiots. And I just think that that's, that he's incorrect. Personally, I think he's incorrect. Yeah.
For the Bible, like if you're going to believe it on faith, like if you have faith in Trump that what he's saying is a certain thing, then I can't touch you. Like we can move on to the next thing, I guess.
Well, yeah, fine. Let's move on to the next thing.
Sure.
What next thing are we talking about?
I don't remember. You said we were going to go back. You're driving the Audi, dude. So I'm just in the back seat.
Oh, okay, we brought up the Rust Belt. You brought something about manufacturing jobs.
Oh yeah.
That thought that Trump was going to bring back jobs somehow, manufacturing.
Yeah,
jobs.
I think that was
which is why he's getting pissed. Yeah.
He couldn't do it. What do you think that he would fail at being able to? Why do you think that he's unable to fulfill that promise of getting people jobs?
Because the majority of those jobs have already been lost to manufacturing. They're, even in countries that those jobs were outsourced to, those people are losing the jobs to automation. Even in China, even in Mexico, there's no way that you're going to bring back manufacturing in the United States, and then even if you did, make those jobs available to the people somehow. Like this is just never going to happen. I haven't seen any economist that agrees with that point of view.
Didn't a Japanese company say recently that they're planning on bringing new jobs to America, or that they're going to bring back jobs or bring jobs to America? I think that he's wrong.
This is a Fortune.com article.
I
think they even lean.
Don't quote me on that.
88% of jobs have been estimated to have been lost to automation. And these are automation in countries where the labor is already insanely low. I don't think those jobs are ever coming back.
Don't blame jobs for taking U.S. Don't blame China for taking U.S. jobs. Okay. So you think that what exactly has he promised that you think he's unable to fulfill? I guess what exact statement has Trump said that the supporters in the Rust Belt are listening to? Are we talking about import export? Are we talking about tariffs?
Jobs back.
He's
he
talking
brought some
about
jobs,
tariffing every single country, or putting a tariff on all imports until competition is competitive again, or manufacturing is competitive again in the United States, is what he said.
They're investing $1 trillion into the U.S. Hey, there you go.
Do you think that the United States not having as strong a manufacturing base and as strong an export as it used to have has hurt us economically? Would you agree with something like, I don't know if you ever read the book American Theocracy, but that was one of the 3 pillars they kind of talked about being a major shift in America's diminishing power.
Yeah, diminishing power, I don't know in terms of, when you say power, I don't know what that means. I know that we've shifted from a manufacturing economy and we're shifting into a service-based economy. I mean, a while ago, I guess in theory, I like the idea of us manufacturing our own shit. But I mean, economics isn't a zero-sum game. If Mexico and China can make our shit for much cheaper, that means that we have more money for other things, right? Lower-class people that can't afford products that can spend a greater percentage of their income on things that aren't bare necessities, like clothing or whatever the fuck you would buy at Walmart. I mean, I buy into the idea that manufacturing in other countries and utilizing their comparative advantage is probably overall better for everybody involved, and it also makes those countries better off as well. So.
Oh, okay. So you've got a country like Mexico, you got a country like China. We put tariffs on them, so it costs them.
What game? Hogwarts Legacy.
For them to come in and compete. But you don't think that we can catch up to that because we'll have automation replace workers anyway?
Well, sure. I mean, the standards of living for people in Mexico or China, ignoring automation,
Why does he talk
were
like he's
already
on 2.0
non-competitive,
speed?
right?
I don't
don't
know,
think you
that's a
could get
good
away with
question.
paying an American worker what you pay a Chinese manufacturer,
of course
right?
not.
So then when you factor in that even at those absurdly low wages, they're also automating jobs. Even still, how does that fare for the American worker then that wants a manufacturing job? Like, how much more expensive would those products have to be to cover that labor?
To cover the difference. I have no clue, to be honest with you. I really don't.
And this is something like if Trump would have spoken more on this, then maybe I could have bought into it more. But everything that he said just kind of sounded like a meme. Like, I'm just going to tariff the fuck out of everybody. We've tried tariffing individual products before, but we've ended up buying them from other places. There's a report. I can search for it if you want. But we tried to make our tire industry more competitive, and we were buying all of our tires from like China. So we put a tariff on imports from China for tires specifically, and then we started buying all of them from India. And then when we tariffed that, they just started buying. So the only way would have been to tariff it from literally all over the world, like every single import on tires, to protect our industry. But then at the end of the day, prices become so expensive that it's prohibitive, and it doesn't really make sense to do it. Like, you just end up fucking everybody over, right?
Okay. So do you think that Trump's game with this then, talking about tariffs and bringing jobs back, do you think he's trying to play some kind of an economic mind fuck with these people?
Not an economic. He's just trying to appeal to a certain demographic.
No, I'm not talking about Americans. I'm talking about foreign companies. We're talking about like China and Mexico, these places that are creating these products. You make it prohibitively expensive for them to bring it in. They're going to be losing a profit. I mean, do you think that this is supposed to give him some kind of leg up, that he's going to renegotiate something, that he's just going to let the tariff sit and take the money and then reinvest it somehow into these areas in the Rust Belt? What
I don't think he's going to do anything with it. There's nothing that he can do. These countries are manufacturing products for us because they're just better than us at it. Like, that's it. Like, there's nothing more to be done there. Everything else betrays how capitalism works. You're just putting artificial price floors and artificial pricing mechanisms to try to disrupt the market. I don't see how there's any positive government action that could be taken there that would be a net positive for the American.
Well, who benefits most, I suppose, from Chinese industry, Mexican industry? Are we importing the most, or other countries importing the most?
If you believe in comparative advantage, everybody benefits because it's not a zero-sum game. You have countries that can do some things better than other countries. America does service better than China does service, or Mexico does service. Mexico and China do manufacturing better than America does manufacturing. So the idea is you let everybody work at what they're strongest at, and then everybody gains, is the idea. That everybody is better off as a result of that kind of, I guess, policy.
No, what I mean is, who are they exporting to? Is China, the majority of Chinese goods, are they being exported to the U.S., or are they the majority going to like the UK? Are they going to Russia?
I feel like, I'm pretty sure the United States is the largest single export partner to the Chinese. I could be wrong on that.
Okay, and when
yeah, we are China's largest trading partner. Yes.
Oh, okay, and we're talking about Mexico when they're exporting and we're importing.
Well, thank you for the 5. I want durable clothes again. When I was a teen, I had clothes that lasted for years. Now some of my jeans only last a couple months. That really sucks. I would like durable clothes too. Like, spend $50 on a pair of pants that you never lose. I don't know. They don't manufacture better, they exploit better, and Destiny's okay with that. Yeah, he does. People still don't know how tariffs work. Quest shocker. Exactly. Excuse me. Excuse me. Also, hello, Starson. Welcome.
Are we the
By the way, this debate is 8 years old, so...
largest importer from these types of jobs, from these types of industries that he's talking about from, I guess, that country? Or it's Mexican goods, or Mexican goods going to South American countries instead, Russia, the UK, Brazil, whatever?
Mexico import. I'm pretty sure the United
I'm doing good. Just chilling.
Negotiating NAFTA. Mexico is currently our 3rd largest goods trading partner. I don't know what we are to Mexico. I imagine we're one of their largest.
So if we put these tariffs in place on these different countries, on these different companies, what are they going to do then? I mean, if we're the ones taking the majority of their goods, if we're consuming the majority of their goods, how do they compete?
Raise prices?
Right. So do you think that he's trying to create a situation where they have to raise prices, these become higher when they're on the American market, and people don't want to pay that, so an American company comes in and tries to compete with them? I mean, we're not just factoring in the tariff cost, we're factoring in them raising the prices when they're sending it to whoever the distributor is, whoever their middleman is going to be before it gets put on a Walmart shelf.
Yeah, but if you think the margins
How do I like
so
Hogwarts?
low,
I'll be honest with you, it's kind of boring.
Like if the margins are so low that a little bit of a tariff bump is going to make manufacturing.
Oh, jeez, I just murdered that woman.
I feel like for people to move all of their manufacturing out of the United States, even against severe public backlash, what was that air conditioner company in? Was it Arizona?
Oh shit, I just died.
The big
I know who you're talking
yeah,
about.
the big like to face public backlash like that, and then to go and build or rent an entirely new factory and to close down everything that's in the United States. I feel like those margins must be like significant. So if we were to put a tariff, it would have to be a significant one, right? Would you agree with that? That it would probably have to be more than a little. And if you put a significant tariff to bring jobs back to the United States, and even somehow, and we'll even estimate somehow maybe you magically avoid automating all these jobs, which I don't know how you would make that illegal, I guess. How are you going to get all of these people that rely on these poor products that are now having to spend a greater percentage of their income on these products? How are these people going to be okay with it? It seems like you're just hurting the low-risk class of citizens at that point.
I figure like you're putting tariffs in place, it creates a bit of a domino effect where they're raising prices because they want to keep their profit margins where they are. This allows an American company to maybe take, I mean, you've got multiple factors. You're giving tax incentives maybe to American manufacturers or companies that come up to fill this void. So they've got a bit of a tax break. This guy's getting tariffed and he's raised his prices. It's now somewhat leveled the playing field. I have no idea what that, these.
Oh, she's dead.
At that point,
on top of the other.
Yeah, but at that point, you're talking about a very non-Republican, non-Trump.
And I just turned that man into a chicken.
Government and subsidizing an industry. So where is that money going to come from? Because now what you've done is you've moved jobs from China to the United States, and now you're paying for it with American taxpayer dollars. If you're talking about giving preferential tax treatment or subsidies, so now you're like a Democrat. You're just throwing money at an industry to keep it alive and expanding government and doing so, which is one of the things that Trump was supposed to be against, right? I think even in his official statements, he said he's want to cut 2 federal jobs for every one new one he instates. He wants to put a freeze. Oh, that was on regulations. He wants to freeze, I think, all federal funding, I think, for employees, for non-essential employees. I think that was in his thing. I don't have to bring it up again, but like everything that he said in his plan has been pretty big on decreasing the size of the federal government, right?
But we're talking about startup companies. We're talking about small to mid-sized. I mean, maybe there probably are going to be large ones that would take advantage of that, and we can talk on that. But he has gone on record, if
you turn a man into a chicken, then eat said chicken, isn't that cannibalism? Probably. What's the argument? They're talking about tariffs right now, and I'll be honest with you, I'm half paying attention because I really don't care about this argument, because again, these are 2 guys arguing from 8 years ago. It's just important to remember who is who.
One is way better at making PB&J, and the other is way better at pouring glasses of milk, and they each do this like so much better. Why would you switch their roles and put in a whole bunch of artificial, market-unfriendly, capitalism-unfriendly policies in place to make them catch up, when instead both of them can just do what they're best at, produce more products for both sides, and then take that extra money and invest it into other areas of the economy? I guess I don't understand why you would spend so much money protecting an industry that is not competitive without massive government subsidization that would have to be paid for with American taxpayer dollars. Like, it just seems like...
Well, maybe the child that's best at making PB&J, you're saying we've got 2 kids, maybe that kid's from the house next door, and maybe I want my child to be the best PB&J maker. Maybe I want to give them a leg up rather than the kid from next door.
Yeah, but then everybody just has less money and everybody loses. Why would you want your kid to try to catch up when the other kid is already making PBJs like crazy? Your kid has more time and more money to do what he wants. Like we would have more money to do what we want, investing in other areas of the economy. If China can manufacture better than us, just let them manufacture. We can spend that money and train our people to do other things that we're better at, like the comparative advantages, right?
Well, yeah, but you're talking about moving into an entirely service-based industry.
Which is essentially what we're...
They will always outcompete us then.
Exactly,
if we're not trying to address it, if we're not trying to catch up, obviously they have a head start. They're going to be way ahead of us on that. So, but what I'm saying is you have that much faith in the service industry that some technology later on is not going to come out that's going to completely make it irrelevant. I mean, then what do we do? Now we don't have manufacturing jobs and we're fucked in the service industry.
What?
I mean, that's a pretty big hypothetical. Like, do you think China's scared right now of some new innovative technology?
I don't think that's a hypothetical. I think that's slowly happening.
You linked me to an article that said that it's automated at this point. So
yeah, but it's still the industry is still in their country.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is because they've had a chance to build up towards it.
We've been building our service industry the entire time. How is China magically going to discover something that's going to like make them like, well, you're a new tech startup. You're not going to San Francisco anymore. You're going over to Beijing or some shit like.
How do we lose our grip on the manufacturing base in the United States in the first place?
By opening our markets and initiating a trade with other countries that are developing massive bases of people that are entering job markets that historically weren't before. China and India have been massively developing countries for a long time. We used to have all of our own tech people here too, and now we import jobs via the H-1B system, which I think is shit from fucking India.
And we outsource a ton of our service industry to India.
Sure, yeah.
So what I'm saying is, we used to be #1 in manufacturing. We're not anymore. We've lost that.
Mhm.
To think that we're going to hold on to this service industry and that we're going to be secure in that, and that's going to be the golden next 50 years, I think is wishful thinking.
I mean, I think if you're somebody like Trump, and I know a lot of people who like Trump, and I know my parents who love Trump, then you think America is great and America can do great things and America is an awesome country, then so like what you're telling me is Americans are so naturally fucking horrible at everything that we need to protect all of our industry and service so hard, because if we don't, we're going to lose it to everybody else in the world. I don't know, that kind of sounds sad to me. Like
I think that it makes sense for a nation to have its own interests at heart. I don't think that that's an unfair statement. I think that putting its own citizens first ahead of other countries' citizens isn't a terrible thing to say. I think that trying to create a situation where people in the United States have jobs and a secure living isn't a terrible thing to say. Yeah.
Was this debate just some kind of prophecy for this year? I don't know, maybe. Okay, chat, I'll give you guys a choice. Some of you sound kind of bored. Press 1 if you want me to continue for about another 15 minutes. Press 2 if you want to be done now. If you want to be done now, we'll be done now. I do know that like eventually they like get more onto it, but I'm curious. 2 if you want me to continue, 1 if you want me to be done now.
Because the Chinese manufacturer can make him, Foxconn can make him an iPhone that only costs $200. You think that that's a good trade? That you think that he's satisfied if you came up to him and said, we can, give you a $200 iPhone and no job, or we can create a system where you're going to have a job, but that iPhone's going to cost $300.
No, but do you think that all the people that worked, or all of the people that have to
Okay,
spend
we'll go
huge
for another
amount of money on
15
shit
minutes.
products are happy that they're getting a few people, highly protected jobs because they don't want to let other countries compete? Like, I mean, like, you're trying to find like one specific loser. Like, does somebody lose out on a job? Yeah, sure, but that could be rectified. You train for a different area. We haven't focused on those industries, but you train for a different career. You train to do something else besides manufacturing. Like, your alternative is, well, we bring back some manufacturing jobs, keep some people happy, and now every single poor person in the United States has to pay a higher percentage of their income on necessary products. Like, do you think those people are happy with that?
Well, what percentage of those poor people aren't going to be working? I mean, this comes down to numbers, I guess, on what we're talking about.
Whatever the numbers are, I guarantee you we're not bringing back tens of millions of manufacturing jobs. And again, we're still ignoring the fact that so many jobs. America is still the second largest exporter of goods in the world, right? We've already automated a lot of our own work. The idea that we're bringing back manufacturing from other countries and not automating it is crazy. That will never happen. Like,
okay, I guess my point would be this: kind of looking at the manufacturing thing, and then even touching back on the illegal immigration thing. When we're talking about, are they coming here for jobs? And you link me to, I don't know what was this?
Okay, a lot of you voted for me to go to bed. We'll probably finish. We're 46 minutes in. We're 46 minutes in, so
I'm sorry.
we will.
I shall certainly keep an eye out for your carts.
That is very kind of you, but I think they took them to their camp southwest of here.
We will. We'll finish up here. Need to find another time to play Hogwarts Legacy, honestly. Let me find somebody to raid. You know, I'll give you the Flash again. Flash is always fun. And let me see who's on Twitch. I'll give you the Lulu. Lulu is always fun. Actually, is there somebody I haven't rated in a while? Oh yeah, I'll give you the Lulu. I'll give you the Lulu. I will be back tomorrow night for Nightwave. Until then, you guys... I had 20 people watching me on Twitch. Holy crap. Until then, you guys are fantastic. I'll see you later.